Yes, welcome in, everybody. Ben and Woods, 97.3, The Fan. Shot out of a cannon this morning because the entire crew is back together. It feels so good. Paulie, you are, again, never allowed to leave or be off ever again, okay? I'm sorry. I know that you were sick, but I just can't have it anymore. I just can't. It just cannot happen anymore. Welcome into Ben and Woods. Man, like I said, fired up to be here this morning. I'm Woodsy. That's Paul Reindl. Welcome back to the studio, my friend. How are you feeling?
Hey, how are you?
Doing great.
You know what? I feel the best I've felt in the last week.
Good.
Probably don't sound great.
A little snotty, but that's all right.
I really didn't sound great yesterday, but I felt good.
I talked to you.
You called me in the morning.
Call you in the morning. You sounded
in the
okay.
Afternoon, like I was just so stuffy, and I was telling Adam, like, "Hey, I'm gonna sound congested and stuffy, but I feel good."
Well, I talked to him the other day, and he was like, hello. I can't really talk a lot. And it goes in one ear and out the other with me. I'm like, well, I got like 20 minutes.
Anyways, let me tell you about it.
It's so true. Ben Higgins, our friendly neighborhood sports anchor, he was like, I'm actually trying to not talk a lot because my throat hurts and my chest hurts.
I have no voice.
I was like, all right, well, I'll just do all the talking then. You're never going to believe what happened and blah, 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 blah.
Let me tell you about Adam.
And
so then all of a sudden.
So I go in and yeah, I just had to get it off my chest. Benjamin's here. He's also now he's feeling a little under the weather.
It's a tiny bit dicey. I'm okay at the moment. Little dicey, but we're feeling okay at the moment. Although I do have one of those alfalfa sprouts in my hair, and I can't get rid of it, for Little Rascals reference from a show that was on the air probably 100 years
in 1940.
Hey, Spanky! I can't get it to smash down, so
it won't.
It's fine.
I can see it. Well, put your headphone right on top. Yep, there it is. Look at this. Put your headphone.
There we go.
Yeah.
No, there it's back.
That is. Yeah, cow lick, they call it.
A cow lick.
Cow lick. How are you, Benjamin?
I'm all right. Yeah, I'm definitely okay.
Good.
Hopefully not heading in Paul's direction.
I hope.
Just had a little trouble sleeping last night. Kind of tossed and turned.
Yeah.
Which I don't usually do. I usually sleep pretty soundly for the short amount of time that I'm actually in bed every day. So hopefully it's just a one-off and we'll be fine later today.
Yeah, I mean, and the only medication you took is Advil, which I don't even know if that works at all for like a cold.
It does, yeah.
Oh, does
for me, yeah, it reduces swelling. I had like a sinus kind of pressure thing, and it's kind of reduced that, so I feel better.
Okay, good. Satan's Blowfish in the chat says, yesterday you guys discussed your post-show routine, how you decompress. If there's time, would you be willing to discuss your pre-show routine, how you prep? How's that last few minutes feel? Absolutely. He said, you still get a little nervous before going live, or are you too seasoned for that, et cetera, et cetera. The pre-show routine differs, I think, at least for me. I was here this morning at 4:07. So I got up at 2, laid there, couldn't sleep, got up, made some eggs, had some fruit and a cup of coffee at home. And then I showered and came to work and had some admin things to do for our baseball team, for my little league teams, for the roast that we're doing. I got a bunch of stuff knocked out this morning.
It's like your office hours.
I got my office hours done from like 4 to 5 and then started in on some of the stuff for the show. At night, I do zero prep. Zero. In fact, my son yesterday, who's 7, we're driving to pick up dinner, and he says to me from the back seat, "Dad, how many hours a week do you work?" And I go, well, I mean, I said, I work all the time pretty much. Like if I'm on my phone, I'm looking for content. If I'm on my computer, I'm looking for content. When I'm watching television, sports, whatever, I'm looking for content. When I'm talking to your mother, I'm looking for content. When I go out to get a sandwich, it's content. I said, so technically, Bo, I said, if I'm awake, I'm working. He goes, no. How much time do you actually go into work? I said, I go, technically, if you want to look at it, about 20 hours a week. And he goes, oh, man, that's a lot. And I go, keep thinking that. And then he goes, how long am I in school? I said, well, you're there about 8 to 2:20. And then Fridays, you get out a little early. I said, you do about 29, 30 hours a week. He goes, so I work more than you do. And I go, one way to look at it. Some people would say that the answer to that question is yes, right? So even his smart ass, it's hard to throw the fastball by him.
We don't get recess or lunch, though.
That's true.
During our
Take
show.
out recess or lunch, even though this show on good days does feel like recess. So Satan's Blowfish basically what happens is I write nothing down at night, nothing. I might send myself a tweet. I might send myself a text. If I have an idea, I might bookmark something. And then I come in and I do it before the show starts so that it's kind of fresh in my mind. Now, I tend to forget a lot of things too. I do. I get an idea and I kind of forget it. And then it pops up 3 days later. And I'm like, oh, so I'm not great at that. But I'm a morning guy, man. I love the mornings.
See, now my show prep is entirely different. I do almost all my prep the night before while I'm usually working at Channel 10, write notes and everything. And then I go to bed later than you do.
Yep.
And then when I get up, I just get up, roll out of bed, throw on some clothes, and drive into work, get here about 5:30.
Yep.
And my 30 minutes is basically just trying for me to wake up and slowly build some energy. So at 6 o'clock, I'm feeling ready to actually talk to people.
Yeah, well,
so it's totally different than your prep.
And it's standard in here because I'm in here and I'm lonely before the guys get here. I'm by myself. And then Paulie gets here usually first. We start chopping it up. He's getting audio loaded. I'm sending him stuff or whatever. Then Ben gets here and we start chatting. And then I just start pacing. So I get it's not nervous, but it's nerves.
Yeah, I never really see your actual prep. By the time I get here at 5:30, and maybe Paulie can back me up on this, Woods is just in a state and usually complaining about something or someone who's not in this room.
Adam, mostly.
Could be Adam.
Yeah.
Could be anyone just that you've come across in life. You just like get it all off your chest in like the hour, the 30 minutes between 5:30 and 6. This and that happened, and this happened, and that happened.
It gets me in the mood of it gets me just kind of fired up. I don't do like the nobody talked to me before the performance, right? I don't do that bit. I'm like, let's go, let's get our energy up. So I pace with a baseball bat in my hand, back and forth, and I'm talking to Paulie, I'm talking to Benny, and I know it's probably wheels off for you guys, but you guys never say anything. You're all kind of used to it now, and it just gets me in the right headspace to come in and come out punching.
We mostly just let you vent.
I know, yeah. You guys are great.
I'm usually completely
he's locked in on his computer,
and you're just like, and then my effing trainer was doing this workout with me, and I'm like, what? Oh, dude, what?
No, that's crazy.
Whoa.
That's crazy. No way. But I do
have to focus on make sure you look sympathetic, nod once or twice to whatnot.
But I do feel listened.
Give him a little bit of eye contact if you can.
I feel listened.
That means we're doing a good job.
You guys are doing a great job.
I would say was that Satan's Blowfish that asked about all the. I don't know that any of us get really nervous before a show. However, excited. There are shows a couple of times a year maybe where we go,
oh boy.
Oh man!
Boy, don't mess this up.
I kind of feel like everyone's listening right now. Like after the Soto trade or opening day broadcast stuff like that, you get, but it's like you get amped up. It's not really nervous.
It's nerves though. It is nerves. It's nerves, but I'm not nervous. Yes. But you do feel like there are those days when I look at these guys and I go, everyone's listening. I can feel it right now. I can feel it. I can feel people's ears on me. So I don't want to screw this up. Let's make sure we're dialed in or whatever. But yeah, man, I do it a little differently. Like if a consultant came in and said, all right, Woods, what do you do after the show? And let's see your notes you took last night. I'd be like, I got nothing, bro. I have nothing. I have a decent enough
mental outline
recall to where I can come and go, oh, this tweet I saw last night, or oh my God, I listened to this podcast yesterday. It's decent enough. It got me through college as an English major because no joke, I'm if you could rate like a speed reader on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm probably an 8. I mean, I'm probably an 8. I can get through things quickly. So I can skim an article while I'm talking to you guys. It's just one little thing that I have that it's really served me well in this job. So Joseph says he's waiting for the opening day show announcement. Yeah, man. I keep hearing it's 99.9% done. I will wait, I guess, to get the clearance to actually tell you where we're going to be. But I will say this too, surprisingly enough and interestingly enough.
Now, I thought we mentioned this, but we definitely told you off air. You completely forgot.
What? I know where it is.
The other part of opening
That's
day.
what I was just going to get to, is that not only is it opening day, it's the Ben and Woods show anniversary. It's our anniversary that day.
Our birthday.
It's our birthday, essentially. The day we started was March 27th, and that was in 2018. And so that will be, if you do 25 2025 minus 2018, that'll be 7. Feels longer. Feels like we've been together for a decade. It feels a little bit longer than 7 years. We'll be starting our 8th year together. We've had a really great run. I mean, just a phenomenal run. And so we'll celebrate that day as well.
It's weird because I don't think our show anniversary has ever landed on opening day. It's always within a couple of days of opening day, but this is the first time it's ever actually landed on opening day.
Pretty cool.
And our first show wasn't on opening day.
Well, I think at the beginning of our show, opening day was a little bit later.
Yep.
Opening day has gradually kind of moved into March now.
But our show anniversary has remained on March 27th every year.
But usually it's that Monday or maybe over the weekend, Tuesday. Now it's that Thursday,
like that's
opening day.
Pretty sick.
Like both of those shows, if they were on separate days, would be huge shows for us.
Well, and I got to tell you, once I found that out, I started thinking about it. And I want, obviously we want to celebrate. We like to celebrate in here. So, yeah, we're going to have a party. We're going to do that. But we're also there for opening day, and we're going to celebrate the new season starting. And I do worry, I do worry that people are like, enough about you guys. Let's talk about, the 5th starter or whatever, which is fine. I'd like to be able to sprinkle in a mix of both, a little bit of celebration for us, celebration for the Padres. The way I look at it is just one big ball of fun and camaraderie and love, because that's what opening day is about, and hope, and so it's just time has absolutely flown. It is just flown by. If I think about it, man, 7 years ago right now, we weren't even a prayer, really. How long after Benny? How long?
Wasn't long.
It was like we started on the 27th. When did I get the phone call from Mike Glickenhaus? The
Probably
25th?
Probably,
The 24th?
Because we still had our meeting, and then it was like a few days later we had our first show. So probably a week and a half, maybe. Like the 18th or something.
So next week, essentially, we get the call, if we want to do a show together. But yeah, man, I'm ready for opening day.
I'm trying to remember what day of the week the 27th was.
We can look.
I can look it up.
I don't know why.
I think Tuesday sounds right, because all I know is the Friday before that show, that's when some guy on Twitter then, Woods, DM'd me and said, hey, we should chat.
What's the date? March 27th? We started
2018.
We started on a Tuesday.
Feels right.
Tuesday.
Yeah, we started on a Tuesday.
I don't remember what we did on that Monday. Yeah, you and me, Paulie, because we were already working there, and then Woods was kind of the new addition.
Yeah, not kind of the new addition.
I don't remember
was the new addition. Yeah,
I don't remember either.
But yeah, it was definitely, we made it on a Tuesday for some reason.
I know the first week, I think our first show, we did guest list. We just kind of talked for 4 hours or 3 hours, whatever it was. Then the next day we had Ron Fowler
and Rob Manfred.
I think he was the next day.
Was he the third day?
Third day.
Or was it Steve Fisher was the first guest, actually?
Ooh, I don't remember, man. I really don't.
I'll have to go back.
I wish I had all these archived, but man, it's been a great run, and I'm so happy we get to celebrate and have the tier ones out, because a lot of people show up to the live broadcast that we'll be doing that day. And yeah, man, we will definitely. I know I don't drink much anymore, but that day we'll do some shots and have some fun. It's opening day. We're gonna have a great time. Carlos says, is Hammer gonna make a special guest appearance? Yeah. I mean, the rumor on Hammer is that he's coming back to town, which will be great, which means Hammer can make more than one. I'd love to have Hammer up for the Christmas show and things like that. I'd love to bring him back in the fold, but this is great. Mark says, March 27, 2018. I'd only been in town a couple of months. Fast forward 7 years. I've been listening to Ben and Woods ever since. Appreciate you guys. Thank you, Mark B. Love you, man. That's awesome.
Now, we can say, even though we haven't officially announced our opening day broadcast, if you missed it on the show yesterday, we will have a live broadcast next week on Friday for the second day of the college basketball tournament. We're going to be broadcasting live at Dave & Buster's all day long for 97.3 The Fan.
Can't wait.
I'm curious to see. Obviously, the games don't start until like 9. How many people we can get there at 6 a.m. though would be cool.
Yeah,
we're going to open up early for us. We're going to be broadcasting
anything to do
live
before the basketball game starts?
There are some things you can do at Dave & Buster's.
It's going to be hard to keep me focused on the air, because I'm going to want to be playing Jurassic Park the whole time while I, we
get like Bluetooth mics that we can just walk around the casino. Or
wireless.
Not a bad
arcade.
call.
Yeah, I would love it. I would absolutely love it. No, we're excited about that. Of course, March Madness is right around the corner, or whatever, the big tournament. And yeah, we're going to be celebrating and having fun that day as well. Would love to see the tier ones out there at Dave & Buster's in Mission Valley.
All right, we've got I think a good show today. We'll set the menu, but
so
this is
fun.
this is an important show for us because today is the day that we will unveil the field for our tournament of drops. I believe that is coming up within the next hour, so stay tuned for that. The first round matchups will be out tomorrow for you guys to vote on, and by next Friday, we should crown our 6th winner of the Tournament of Drops competition for the Ben and Woods program, which will be
it's one of my favorite days of the year.
It is
like
it is
real.
a lot
it's
of
like
fun.
real March Madness, but it's kind of the Ben and Woods version. It's so much fun.
So stay tuned for that.
It's crazy. I was looking. I saw yesterday was the 5-year anniversary of the NBA canceling the season.
Yep, saw that
due to COVID,
mm-hmm.
and that ties into the Tournament of Drops. That was the first year that we did the Tournament of Drops because we had no sports.
There's no sports,
and and we were like, what do we do? And we missed, the Aztecs were like 30-1 that year. Like everybody was looking forward to the tournament.
That's right.
It got banged. So we said, what if we do a tournament of sound bites or something like that?
Yeah.
We also did a tournament of flubs that year.
We did the flub tournament as well.
The flubs kind of fell off.
Yeah.
But we did 2 Ben and Woods tournaments that first year.
I mean, desperate times call for desperate
The first
measures.
tournament of drops was a 64 field tournament.
It was big
because we had 2 years of drops.
Exactly. Now we've narrowed the field down to 32.
Indeed.
But we will reveal those coming up within the next hour. It was also, I believe, 1 year ago this week that we celebrated opening day at 7 Mile Casino.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. GEGE 000466.
And you can head down to 7 Mile Casino anytime you want. It is open 24 hours a day, Woods.
For a full list of games and rules played at 7 Mile Casino, visit 7milecasino.com.
We still have to talk more about 7 Mile Casino.
Yeah, I know.
I was
you
going to do
forgot
that at the
to
end.
do that.
No, we actually...
Disclaimer goes first.
We discussed that we were going to put that at the end.
It's at the end of the disclaimer. It's at the end of the disclaimer.
It's at the end of the spot.
It's at the end of the disclaimer.
It's
at the end of the disclaimer.
As opposed to having 2 different voices in the disclaimer, I said, why don't we do it at the end of the actual spots? But that's okay.
For a full list of games and rules played at 7 Mile Casino, visit 7milecasino.com.
I can give you the full list. It's California style blackjack. It is Texas Hold'em. It is Pai Gow Poker. And it's Baccarat. They're all great card games. They're fun to play at 7 Mile Casino. There's your full list, Woods.
I love it. The high-limit games are bigger, bolder, and better than ever. Whether it's high-stakes poker, fast-paced California blackjack, and Baccarat, the thrills are nonstop. The stakes are higher at 7 Mile Casino. Get on out there. High stakes and great fun. Just off the 5 on Bay Boulevard in Chula Vista. 7 Mile Casino is just 7 minutes from downtown.
For a full list of games and rules played at 7 Mile Casino, visit 7milecasino.com. We'll be back after a check of traffic with Kelly Danick here on 97.3 The Fan. All right, we are. It is what is it? Wednesday morning. It's a Wednesday morning.
That Advil is kicking in.
Can I interrupt real quick?
Feeling good.
Go ahead. Interrupt, Paulie.
I've gotten at least, I don't know, 5 messages, including one just a minute ago, that thank God Paulie's back because we can actually hear the hosts talk when coming back from commercial breaks. Yeah. What's been going on? Like, do they just leave the music up like this?
Pretty much.
Yeah. We had to shout one segment because Adam wasn't back to turn down the music. Yeah. So you're an excellent mixer, Paulie.
I got a bunch of them. I'm like, just lower the music down a little bit.
Bro, look, the guy's got a lot on his plate. I'm going to give him that. Adam Klug has a lot on his plate. That being said,
Brian is asking for an update on the safe at my grandmother's house.
Funny that you should ask.
I do have an update for you, and we will have that for you at 8 o'clock this morning. Part of setting the menu for the program today. As I mentioned already, we're going to reveal the field for the Tournament of Drops. That comes basically in the next hour. We'll kind of review some of our past champions at 7 o'clock, and then at 7:30, we will unveil the field for the Tournament of Drops. Before that, though, definitely want to talk some Padres baseball. There is clearly one guy who is trying to slug his way onto the roster. And he's making a really good case. I know spring training results, you don't want to read too much into them, but at some point,
unless they're good,
if you hit a home run every single day, you're going to make the team.
How about 2 home runs?
Yeah, if you're just upping the quantity now and hitting walk-offs, we'll talk about Gavin Sheets and what his new expanded role maybe with San Diego Padres. I hope this isn't just a spring training mirage for Gavin Sheets. Clearly, he's not going to be able to keep this pace up. If he hit 5 home runs every 4 days, he'd hit over 200 home runs over the course of the season, which is probably not going to happen.
Nothing's impossible.
That would go down as one of the better pickups by A.J. Preller off the scrap heap. Get a 200 home run hitting star.
Pretty good.
Hey, if he hits 20 to 30, that would be 20 amazing.
Would be freaking fantastic. Fantastic.
Absolutely amazing. But it's going to be, at this point, I think pretty hard to keep him off the roster the way he is swinging the bat right now.
No question.
And we'll talk about yesterday's game against the Chicago White Sox, Dylan Cease's performance, some other offensive nuggets that we can pass along. It is also conference tournament week. The Aztecs are back in action tomorrow. Brian Dutcher spoke yesterday. They had a practice, updates on Magoon Guath, not only his health, but his future with the San Diego State basketball program. We can talk about that. They also announced all the awards for the Mountain West as well yesterday. Some Aztecs honored, maybe a couple of snubs in there as well. But they're getting ready to face Boise State in a pretty critical game tomorrow afternoon at the Thomas and Mack Center in Las Vegas.
It's a big one, my friend.
I saw ESPN actually said that their tournament chances, right now ESPN has them just over 50%. I think it's higher, but they have them at 54 based on their computer model. Okay. They said the results of tomorrow's game will swing it at least 20 points either way, which means if they win, they're 70 to 80%, like pretty close to a lock. If they lose, down to like 30 to 20%, like a long shot to get in.
Boise State, if they lose tomorrow, they're out.
They're only at like 30%, so they absolutely have to win to get their chances of climbing over the bubble in. So that's about as big of a quarterfinal Mountain West game as maybe has ever been played in this tournament.
That's a balls to the wall game. I cannot wait for that. I need to clear my schedule.
So we will do that. Spring training. Sammy will join us in the second half of the program at 8:35. Good to have Paulie back. We'll have our regular features like Don't Do This, Take on Woods for a chance to qualify for a trip to Las Vegas. Rindle Report is back in our 9 o'clock hour, as well as our biggest fan announcement at 9 o'clock. So that's a little bit of what's on the menu for the program today, but we will jump into some Padres talk from yesterday's action in Peoria against the White Sox as the Padres walked them off. I know, again, results don't matter, but kind of the way they get to the results can matter a little bit. And I liked what I saw yesterday from the San Diego Padres. So we'll get to that coming up next. First, I'll tell you about Prize Picks because March is a phenomenal time to be playing daily fantasy. There are so many games on at all hours of the day with these conference tournaments that are going on. You can pop up a television like at 9, 10 in the morning, and you will see basketball on. You can set lineups throughout the day between 2 and 6 players and win real money up to 1,000 times your cash with Prize Picks. Pro basketball as well. multiple games every night. All you do is set your lineup. It adds to your enjoyment when you're watching your sports with all the big stars like Luka Doncic, Anthony Edwards, Jaylen Brown, whatever, looking at rebounds, points, assists, combined totals of all of them. It's very easy to play. All you have to do is download the app by going to prizepicks.com. Use the code KWFN when you download. You will get $50 instantly when you play your first $5 lineup. That's $50 instantly when you play your first $5 lineup by using the code KWFN at PrizePicks. Run your game. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for details.
represents the potential winning run. Here in the ninth, as Sheets hammers it again. A walk-off against his old team, his second homer of the day, and for Sheets, his fifth in the last 4 days.
Legendary spring training moments brought to you by Ben and Woods.
Yes.
Here on 97.3 The Fan. It'll be forgotten probably in a few days, but if you are going to make people remember you, hitting 5 home runs in 4 days, including a walk-off winner, even in spring training, is a good way to grab a little attention during spring training. And Gavin Sheets, I honestly was a week ago, I would have said, Gavin Sheets, yeah, I mean, low risk. You brought him on. He didn't do anything. Thanks for coming to camp, and good luck to you.
Good luck to you. Hope you find a gig.
We'll probably never hear from him again. Now I'm starting to envision a future in which he is pretty much an everyday designated hitter for the San Diego Padres.
I mean, at least a platoon guy, you know, at least a platoon DH. Yeah, dude, the funny thing is about him, and obviously he has had some success at the big league level. He has. He came up with the White Sox and kind of arrived gangbusters with them. And then, look, he's on the White Sox. Like, things haven't gone really, really well for them. He talked about coming into camp here with the San Diego Padres. And again, you get an opportunity. A lot of these guys may wake up and go, this could be it, man. So I need to listen. I need to learn. I need to work. And he's done that. And whatever he and Victor Rodriguez have done together, Ben, it seems to be working. And he spoke really highly of the Padres coaching staff yesterday, talking about the changes that he made. And like the balls that he's hitting this spring training, he is roping them. All 3 balls he hit yesterday had an exit velo north of 105 miles an hour, just barreling baseballs. The one he hit off of left-hander Jared Schuster was 109 off the bat, highest exit velo he's ever logged against the left-handed pitcher in his whole career.
He started the changes, though, before he even got to the Padres, because he was a fairly recent addition at the start of spring training, and he worked in the offseason with his dad, who also played in the big leagues, Larry Sheets. And, you know, it really reminds me of Jurickson Profar's story from last year, where Jurickson kind of got back to what got him to the big leagues. You know, he worked not with his dad, he worked with Fernando Tatis Jr.'s dad, but worked with him in the offseason in the Dominican League, and then just kind of went back to like, okay, how did I get here in the first place? And then you start tinkering over the years, and you get different hitting coaches who all have their philosophies, and just, hey, try this, try that. It's like working with your golf swing at this, at the same time. You do this with your elbow, do this here. And then by the time you realize it, you've made 15 different little changes, but you have an entirely different swing than the one that actually made you a great baseball player in the first place, that got you to the big leagues and was a pretty promising prospect for the Chicago White Sox when he first burst through. Had like 15 home runs
16
in a
homers.
Very limited first season as a rookie.
I think it was like 16 homers and 108 at bats or something. Like they were excited about him.
So he's trying to get back to that. Will it be like Jurickson, where he sticks with it all year, don't tinker, and ends up having a career type year for the San Diego Padres? I'm not going to predict that at the moment. That would be a little far afield this early in spring training in March, but there certainly is talent in there. That's undeniable.
Yeah.
He hits the ball very, very hard and not
far.
Not everybody can, even in Major League Baseball. There's a lot of guys that just don't have that kind of raw power. Certainly doesn't look like it. I've seen those interviews. He looks kind of like just any guy walking down the street. Okay, is he a Major League Baseball player? Yeah, he also has the ability to hit the ball 110 plus miles an hour off the bat. You don't necessarily see it with Gavin Sheets, but it makes him a very intriguing option now for the Padres going forward. A potential near the bottom of the lineup guy who can hit, in the teens or even maybe in the 20s if everything goes right in home runs, if he, sticks with it and gets that kind of opportunity from the Padres this season.
And where do you envision him? He's played mostly left field?
Designated hitter, I think. I mean, he did go in at left field in the 5th inning yesterday. He didn't even start yesterday's game.
I know.
Came into the 5th inning, went homer, single homer, played in left. I don't think he's ever going to, be great defensively. That's not his thing, but certainly he can against right-handers.
Yeah, man.
You know, be a left-handed DH option, which is something every team really needs.
No question. And I know the Padres desperately needed some left-handed pop as well. And a guy off the bench too to come in and pinch hit, whatever, play matchups and all that. But he was a first baseman.
Was a first baseman.
We've got kind of a glut of guys that are, it's kind of like the tier 1 baseball team. We got about 8 big chubby first basemen, all of us. And, it's hard to find spots for those guys. But look, if you hit, you don't sit, Benny, and he's hitting right now. And you got to keep rolling with that. See if these changes are real. And in the next couple of weeks, I think he has a chance to make this team. I mean, that's all you can ask for if you're the manager. And it's all you can ask for of yourself if you're Gavin Sheets, going out performing. Again, a single off of a really good lefty, hit it really, really hard. Those are things to be really excited about, and seeing the work that he's put in to see it pay off like that is incredible. He's got a chance to make this team, which I think is a cool story.
Wasn't the only bright spot offensively for the Padres yesterday. Jackson Merrill hit his 3rd home run of the spring. And again, don't make too much of spring numbers. None of them were cheap.
This is Jackson Merrill.
None of them were what?
None of them were cheap.
Oh,
these were not these are not wall scrapers. He is hitting the ball a ton. I mean, his power, which we at this point last year, when we were thinking, okay, is Jackson Merrill going to make this team? If he does, he was going to hit 5 home runs this year.
12 max.
His power numbers last year surprised us. Now he looks like a legitimate 25 to 30 home run threat.
Yeah, 100%.
For the San Diego Padres. If the Padres got 25 to 30 from Jackson Merrill and 20 to 30 from Gavin Sheets, not going to have a lot of concerns offensively for this team. Because
I think Gavin Sheets hitting 20 to 30 home runs is a big stretch.
It's way big stretch at this point.
Yeah.
But at least it's a possibility that I had not even considered.
I really hadn't either, but I would have said the same thing about Jurickson Profar last year and the production he got. Look, I love to dream on it. I do. But I also, you got to be realistic about what to expect. But yeah, man, I love it. I love a surprise. I love a good surprise. And this team's been pretty good lately at finding those guys that have been able to turn their careers around, extend their careers or whatever. And you got a few of those guys on this roster. Jose Iglesias being another one that I'm interested in seeing more of. What can he provide? I know what I'm getting with Luis Ariz. I know what I'm getting. I know what I'm getting with Jackson Merrill. I know what I'm getting with Tatis. I know what I'm getting from Manny. I am hoping for more from Crony. I'm hoping for more from Xander. And then I just don't know as it pertains to Sheets, Hayward. I kind of know what I'm getting at this point, and it's not good, right? I kind of know what I'm getting from our catcher spot, but man, it's those 2 little swing guys, man, that can make up the difference in, wow, man, if Gavin Sheets can come in, let's call it even 15 bombs. That'd be fantastic. For what you're paying for that guy, for what you got him for, that'd be phenomenal, and a phenomenal investment for AJ.
Connor Joe continues to compete for a spot.
Yep.
He's just getting on base. Another 2 times on base yesterday, hitting the walk.
Gets on base.
500 on base percentage. It's a valuable skill that I think the Padres need on their roster as they're trying to fill out those last couple of spots on the 26-man. And Fernando Tatis Jr. followed up his big home run a couple of days ago with another double. And Xander Bogaerts, who has not had a great spring offensively, hit one hard yesterday, double, 109 miles an hour.
Smoked one.
Off the bat. It's good to know that it's still in there, Xander.
Yeah,
we want to see it more often, but it's good to know that it is still in there for Xander Bogaerts. So you had some good offensive performances yesterday for the Padres. Pitching-wise, a little more mixed results. We can talk about that after a check of traffic here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is brought to you by local and veteran-owned Sedano Ford in La Mesa. Scattered showers definitely causing some problems on our roads this morning, guys. Northbound side of the 805 has been hit with an accident past Palm Avenue. A couple cars involved. They're in the second lane from the left. We've got this solo spin out South 805 at the eastbound King Freeway connector. It's got the right lane blocked. And North 163 past Claremont Mesa Boulevard, a solo vehicle accident. Looks like that car smacked the center divide. Big savings are rolling at Sedano Ford. Right now, drive home a Ford F-150 Lightning for just $99 a month. An unbeatable deal from your local veteran-owned dealership. But hurry, these offers won't last. For more details about these offers, visit SedanoFord.com. and Kelly Danick with Ben and Wood, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Dylan Cease, if you looked at his numbers yesterday, again, that doesn't look so good. 3 2/3 innings, 4 hits, 4 earned runs. All the damage came in the second inning. Got through the first well, got into some trouble in the second. They didn't want his pitch count rising too much, so they took him out and then put him back in, and then he pitched well again in the third and the fourth. So kind of more of a minor hiccup for Dylan Cease in one inning. You know, they're working on things. They may have specific pitches that they're trying out a little bit more, and we know that Dylan Cease is working on adding that two-seamer. Talked about that after his last start, but he was the starter yesterday. One guy who has looked very good this spring, and I don't know that we've mentioned him at all, and probably should out of the bullpen, is Adrian Morejon, who, remember, we thought might be converted to a starting option, but Mike Schilt was very clear to us, even at FanFest, that no, they like Adrian Morejon out of the bullpen as their top lefty setup man, essentially. And he's been great. 6 shutout innings this spring. Every time he's gone out there, put up a 0 on the board. And they'll have a really good duo of Jason Adam and Adrian Morejon for that, 7th, 8th inning, whether, it's probably going to be based on who you're facing in the lineup. Mike Schilt will look at it and go, okay, we got lefties coming up in the 7th and then righties in the 8th. We'll go Morejon, Adam. If it's reversed, you could go Adam, Morejon. To set up Suarez at this point, but that's
Estrada too.
And you got Estrada in there as well, because you can't use them every single day. So you'll definitely mix in Estrada as well. But you've got a really good mix for the last 3 innings, I think, for the Padres out of the bullpen. And, some decent options in those earlier innings as well, in the 5th and the 6th when you do need relievers there.
Well, and again, man, I mean, I don't want to forget about Alec Jacob, who has been phenomenal. He's been phenomenal. He is, flummoxing hitters every single day, Ben. He doesn't throw hard. He's got a funky delivery. He's got funky movement. He is effective. He gets outs and he gets weak contact. And Alec Jacob has been another really good find for AJ Preller and the San Diego Padres. So, there's a lot to be happy about right now as it pertains to the bullpen. And, think about it too. You got Sean Reynolds hopefully coming back this year. He can be a nasty, dominant reliever. There's somebody else hurt right now.
Hoeing.
And Hoeing. Again, neither injury seems, like they're going to be out for the season. So you got some guys in reserve as well. There's a lot to
give him a run yesterday, but I think he's poised to have an even better second season in the big league. So, the bullpen I think looks good. Starting rotation, we'll figure out who that last starter is, whether it's Kyle Hart. AJ Cassavell projected his roster yesterday. Now that we're getting a little closer, he had Kyle Hart still as his 5th starter. Although he said that Stephen Kolek could certainly still be the guy as well. I thought this was interesting, though. And he talked about the guys who are still battling for the last bench spot. And there is definitely only a couple of spots left. And, there are going to be some tough cuts.
Bro, there's going to be some really tough cuts. The problem is, too, is Gavin Sheets, he's got an option. He has an option. He could go.
So does Tirso.
Those guys could keep hitting at a torrid pace. And maybe the Padres look at it as, well, the smartest business decision right now is to option those guys, keep getting them daily work, and we will need them at some point. I don't know. I really don't know what you do if you're AJ Preller and Mike Schilt.
I think you need Connor Joe on the team.
I do too.
I think you didn't sign Jose Iglesias to not get him on the team.
I think he needs to be on the team.
So, Eggy Rosario does not have options.
He does not have options. If you'll have to put him through waivers.
Yuli Gurriel does not have options. I don't think he's done enough though to earn a spot on the team. The question is, do the Padres need to make a trade to get something for one of these guys that they're going to lose otherwise?
Well, you're not going to get anything for Gurriel. You're not going to get it. Nobody's going to give you anything.
No, I would think
Gurriel.
Eggy Rosario would be someone that you potentially could flip for not anything great, just a younger minor leaguer with more control that you have an eye on. If you think he's not going to make the team, that's something you could do in the next couple of weeks. I saw in the chat whispers, trade Jay Cronenworth and open up more spots in the infield. If someone is interested in a starting second baseman, you do have Jose Iglesias. You have other options that you could go with in the infield and clear that roster spot that looks pretty valuable right now. You can put a Rise back at second, and Connor Joe could play more first base.
Yep.
That's certainly a possibility. I don't want to see them lose Jake at this point. Again, we love Jake, and I think he's a valuable member of the team. But if there are other teams that are interested in Jake Cronenworth, it's something that AJ Preller absolutely has to consider, at least. Would you agree with that, or is that okay?
Yeah, of course. I mean, again, I saw our buddy Tommy yesterday. Somebody said, we need to sit Jake against right-handed pitching too. And Tommy fired back. He had a 122 WRC plus last year against right-handed pitching. So, if there's a righty in there, you feel pretty comfortable with not only Croney hitting, because he, again, 122 WRC plus is pretty good.
Very good.
Very good.
100's average.
So. Yeah, 100's average. So, and then you feel really, really good about his defense. And you feel really, really good about his availability because he's always on the field. And they
played him less against lefties last year.
It started to kind of taper. Yeah.
And they'll be able to do that with the kind of roster they've put together this year. The question is, when you platoon so many guys, is it harder for guys to get hot, to get, when they're not playing every day? Are you actually damaging multiple guys at the same time by not letting anybody get into a groove?
Yeah.
And that's a Mike Schilt responsibility in trying to make sure that his players are all ready, and he did more of that. Remember, Bob Melvin could not get any of his bench guys in
ever. Never.
Mike Schilt did a much better job of that last year without, I think, damaging the everyday starting lineup.
Yeah,
for the most part.
The friggin' Bob Melvin Padres never had a lead. And they were always playing close games. So they could never get really anybody going and could never give anybody a day off because they just weren't playing up to snuff. So you can't sit Soto. You can't sit Manny. You can't sit any of those guys, and that was a huge, huge thing. And you could tell he wanted to, but he could not get anybody else going. He did give Matt Carpenter a lot of at-bats until the end when he didn't at all and didn't play him for like 2 months. It's very odd.
Caitlin says we literally have this trade Jake conversation every year, and it's never happened.
Yeah,
so
it's true.
It only has to happen once.
That's true.
I don't think AJ wants to trade Jake.
I don't think he does.
He likes Jake Cronenworth. I'm just saying that you'd be derelict in your responsibility if you didn't at least explore those options because of what you do have and the pieces that you've put together on the team this particular season. All right, we are getting to the top of the hour here. Coming up in our 7 o'clock hour. Paulie's put together a little trip down memory lane. If anyone's not familiar with our tournament of drops, we'll go back through a little bit of the history of the first competitions. We even found perhaps the inspiration for the whole thing when we first had it 5 years ago when the pandemic started, why we started the tournament of drops to begin with, go through the winners, and then coming up in our 7:30 segment, we will reveal the field for the 2025 Benowoods Tournament of Drops. It is all coming up on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. Don't go away. right, I'll admit that I love a good bracket, Woods.
Oh,
I enjoy putting things into brackets and then choosing winners. So when the idea for the Tournament of Drops was first suggested, I thought, oh, that's a winner in my book. You know, you were a little more skeptical, I think, about brackets, but you love drops.
I love drops. I don't like lists a lot, and power rankings I'm really not a fan of, and brackets. I have fun with the brackets every year. And no, I think out of all of those, I like brackets the most out of lists and things like that.
So Paul, we also had nothing.
Yes. So 5 years ago, we were just getting started into the Corona cave and the pandemic.
Today,
we
got this tweet 5 years ago
today. And the sports had been canceled.
Yes.
We didn't know for how long.
Yep.
But we were going to continue doing our show.
Yeah.
Without any baseball, without any college basketball or NBA.
All sports.
Anything to talk about.
Yeah.
And we go, how are we going to fill the program? And this was one idea that came 5 years ago today.
Right here from Keith. Says, yo, at Ben and Woods. Since there's no more March Madness brackets to worry about, can we do the drop one on the website or Twitter with polls? If anything, it's something to talk about on the show and such. Just a thought. And I said, absolutely. I'll talk to Paul Reindl and we'll figure it out. And boy, did we figure it out. And it has led to the Tournament of Drops, which is always so much fun. We add so many drops throughout the year. We have fun with them. Some come, some go, some stay, some have stayed forever. Some have drifted off into the ether. But, man, the placement of a good drop still gets me every single time.
So going back to that first year, I think the seeding may have been a little wonkier because I didn't know what was going to resonate with the tier ones. But we ended up after 64, the biggest field we ever had since we had the entire show's history to draw from for the first Tournament of Drops, 64 drop field. And it came down to a 1 seed against an 8 seed in the final. Does everyone remember that first final? Paulie, if you would.
We had the runner-up was the number 1 seed.
Who the fudge is Jace Tingler? That, of course, was when the Padres were discussing new managers and possibilities, and they were throwing out names of veterans and guys you heard of, and all of a sudden the guy from Texas was mentioned as a possibility that AJ was interested in. And I mean, even around baseball, the name was fairly anonymous.
I mean, I'd never heard of him. I had never crossed my radar. I know some bench coaches here and there. I know some guys. This one was so
we were hearing, Ron Washington. We were hearing some big names, and and then this other name came up.
This was completely out of left field. So Ben is like, "Who the fudge is Jace Tingler?" And it killed me when he said.
Now by the point the Tournament of Drops had happened, he had been hired, which made that drop a little extra funny.
We played it for Jace, and he laughed. Yeah, he was a good sport.
And then the 8th seed that it went up against, the actual winner of the first Tournament of Drops, was at that point a 2-year-old?
Well,
Bo Woods.
He was 2 years old when the tournament happened. I don't remember when this exact
drop
happened.
Probably one.
He sounds like a little baby.
I think it was like his first word.
And it's so funny that that one is actually still on the board.
Yeah,
we still
on
use
the board
that every once in a while, even though that is not at all what Bo sounds
like. No. Now he says it in a much deeper,
we can get a much cleaner,
cleaner version now.
So for the second year of the Tournament of Drops in 2021, we refined the seeds a little bit, and we did end up with a pair of 1 seeds in the championship matchup. The only time it's ever been a 1 seed against a 1 seed in the final. And Paulie,
our runner-up in 2021.
Shout out to his family.
Incredible. What a year.
That one's had some longevity.
Oh, yeah. And that one's going to live on, I think, for a while. And then the winner, and I think it's extremely fitting, it's the show mantra.
Do the show, bitch.
Amazing. It's people yelling at me at the park.
That tournament goes down certainly as
a legend.
Probably the epic all-timer for the final matchup there.
Yep.
I mean, we had the guy that said that. We had him on the show right after.
Yes, it's incredible.
It was so much fun.
All right, in 2022, we came down to a pair of 3 seeds in the final matchup for the Tournament of Drops.
Ben, for the second time, found one of his drops in the championship.
Came up short again.
Town.
I mean, that's a banger.
We just played that last week for Throwback Thursday.
Pound Town, and I can't believe this one won. No offense to the great Don Orsillo, but come on.
Now they're going to talk, and now we're going to fight.
I mean, good drop and all, but like we're never going to play that a lot.
This is what happens when you have a bracket, though. You have surprise winners all the time.
You do.
Now they're going to talk, and now we're going to fight.
Yeah.
I think the fact that I have my drops have finished runner-up a couple of times, but there's been more Ben drops than any other category of drops in the history of the tournament.
Not even close.
But never once has it gone all the way as a winner.
No. I'm
not aiming for that, actually. I don't
want to.
I don't want to be the winner, but it's kind of surprising that I've never won. All right, 2023, 2 years ago, Paulie considers it the most controversial championship
without
in tournament
a doubt.
history.
It's not, this is blowing like a 3-game lead. You know what I mean? Like in a best of 7 series. This is Yankees Red Sox. This should never have happened. This is absurd.
Yeah, we had
I'm livid.
The number 1 seed, our beloved Adam Klug.
Is it extra sweet because this is against the Dodgers?
That's to our beloved late owner, Peter Seidler. He's just screaming in his face.
After one of the greatest nights.
One of the best nights ever.
Team history.
I mean, that feels like a team that went like 31-0 in the regular season, was the 1 seed by just a huge margin. And everyone thought, all right, this is one of the historically great drops that almost unbeatable. I mean, what could they do? This is Villanova against Georgetown in the final.
This is the Mariners winning 116 games in the regular season. This is most of the Dodgers regular
and it
seasons.
went up in the final against what we thought was a very pedestrian 4th seed, a team that was just lucky to be there
100%
in the championship game, but somehow pulled off the giant shocker.
Good morning, everybody.
Juan Soto at spring training,
walking by our table at spring training.
No, he was doing.
That was during one of those. Yeah, that was during one of those Padres bits. It wasn't even on our show.
Yeah.
Still.
Good morning, everybody.
That's the winner.
Travis.
Over. Is it extra sweet? Which is just.
Is it extra sweet because this is against the Dodgers?
The voice crack. The fact that he's screaming at Peter Seidler.
What did you say?
Is it extra sweet because this is against the Dodgers?
Screaming at him.
I'll be honest. Woods will never forgive a lot of the tier 1s.
I couldn't believe it. I was livid. I'm livid.
Is it extra sweet because this is against the Dodgers?
the stacking of them is so good. Oh, how does that lose? It makes me so nervous moving forward.
And then last year was just a wildly random.
We had controversy last year too.
I didn't like either of these really.
So we had the
controversy for me was I thought the drop of the year.
Big bomber class before bossing at me.
I mean, come on!
Not only did that not make it to the finals, it was bounced in the first round.
Wow.
To like Jesse Agler saying, "Ooh, a booty."
I'm furious.
So what did end up in the finals last year?
Well, the finals we had our 3 seed. The Raptors coach Darko.
Yeah.
It's a complete crap.
Which was
pretty
pretty
bad.
good.
That's not bad. It's not bad.
And that lost to Kelly Danick, who to this day doesn't understand why this is so funny. And I don't believe her.
And someone didn't secure their load of gravel.
Come on, Kelly.
It's a good one, but it's not a winner, but it won. It won last year.
It's so
We gave her
funny,
a trophy
though.
and everything.
Yeah.
It's so funny because I would have said Darko would have been the big favorite in that one.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 100%.
Whereas
So
Adam should have won the year before.
It's a complete crap.
I need you guys to bring it this year. I need you to be right. For my mental health. Like it's got to be accurate this year. Don't vote just to make me mad.
We
please.
will unveil the field at the bottom of the hour. I've got some opinions on what I think will be the winners.
Should we even give our opinions? That's the thing that may sway the other. Ooh,
But
they
I also
like this one.
I have a couple that I go, I think that's what the voters will select.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you 100%. Bracketology with Ben and Woods.
So, yeah. And by the way, I will reveal now that in honor of some of our winners, the 4 regions for the bracket are the Bo Woods region, the Don Orsillo region.
Now they're going to talk, and now we're going to fight.
The Juan Soto region.
Good morning, everybody.
And the Kelly Danick region.
Okay.
And someone didn't secure their load of gravel.
So those are the 4 regions for the tournament of drops
She's a
coming up at the
deviant.
bottom of the hour.
So, wow, she's on the right show.
Yeah.
She's on the right show.
We have baseball this week. I almost forgot. We have actual real games that mean something.
Oh yeah, the Dodgers.
The Dodgers and the Cubs are playing in 4 days.
Is that right?
And yeah, in Japan,
4
first 2
days.
games of the season.
When are those games? Sunday or
our time?
Was like
That's a good question.
Week.
It's the 17th and the 18th. Today is the 12th. So we're like, if it's the time changes, it'll be very early in the morning. This
17th
weekend.
and the 18th is Monday, Tuesday.
All right, are you guys going to get up and watch?
Absolutely not.
I don't think so.
I am.
They officially did announce the first pitching matchup. It is Yoshinobu Yamamoto against Shota Imanaga. So the all-Japanese matchup in the first game. And, of course, the Dodgers are going to go with Roki Sasaki in game number 2. He had his final tune-up yesterday. The splitter is nasty.
It's filthy.
There's no doubt about that. I mean, pitching ninja's going.
I throw it every
maybe
time.
the most unhittable pitch in baseball, it looks like at the moment.
It's absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, I'm going to get up. What time did the game start here? Like 2?
I assume it would be similar to Korea last year.
So. I got up at 2 today, and I'm definitely getting up to watch baseball. Are you kidding me? I live for it. I can't wait. Yeah, I know it's the Dodgers and Cubs, but man, I need it. I need to see it. Want to see what these guys look like. And interesting move from the Dodgers yesterday. Did you see this? They have sent down Hae-Sung Kim, Ben, who was one of the 37 guys they added in the offseason. They have sent him down. He's going to start his career at AAA Oklahoma City. So there was a lot of teams that were in the mix for him. I believe the Padres were one of them, or were they not ever in the mix? I know we had heard some rumors, but I don't know if they were ever officially in the mix for Hae-Sung Kim.
Like, as much as AJ Preller's in the mix on
anybody,
every player.
And I for whatever reason or for whatever their decision was, they've decided to start him down there. But they did trade Gavin Lux away. And I think they envision Hae-Sung Kim being their starting second baseman. That's obviously not going to happen right now.
Tommy Edman will
fill
that role for them. He's been pretty good this spring. They can afford to bring him along slowly.
Oh yeah, but then they got to play Pajes or Outman in the outfield and center field. Which okay, I mean they know those guys. They've been around. So yeah, going to be interesting to see. But yeah, I'm excited. I'll absolutely get up and watch.
So it's the 18th and the 19th of the first 2 games. So it's actually Tuesday our time, 3:10 a.m. on Fox. So less than a week away next Tuesday. 3:10. I mean. We'll get up. I'll get up for the end of the game.
Okay.
I don't know that I'll be up for the beginning of the game.
I'm setting the alarm.
Well, you're normally up at 3:10 a.m.
Yeah, I get up on a good day. I get up about 4, but
that's
50 minutes to watch baseball. So I'm excited.
So and then the second game will be, I believe, the same time on Wednesday morning for the 2 games, and then they'll come back just like the Padres did last year. More spring training. And then, the stateside opener when everybody else is having their opening day.
It is a weird one, isn't it? Going over there, playing and official real games, and then coming back and having to wrap up spring training. But yeah, we did it last year. It was rough, dude. It was rough as a fan to get up and watch those games. But we had a blast out at 7 Mile Casino, certainly. So
we will come back with a little "Don't Do This" before we unveil the field for the Tournament of Drops.
Oh, I can't wait to hear. We get to hear them all today.
We do. We get to hear all the drops coming up today.
I even put together a little video for it.
Look at you, Paulie.
If you're going to be watching on our YouTube stream. It's amazing.
Guys at home
what
sick.
You can do when you're just laying in bed for 5 days.
Guys at home sick, cranking out content.
Got a scary incident from a spring training broadcast booth yesterday, and an old head college football coach is taking a stand in Don't Do This, coming up next here on 97.3 The Fan.
Well, listen, if you're a homeowner, don't go through another year with all that high-interest debt. Let Loan Pronto wipe it all out now. With their rapid equity loan, makes it easy to pay off all the credit cards or tackle the 2025 home improvement project. Get cash in your pocket fast. No appraisals, no paperwork, no waiting. Boy, do we hate to wait for things these days, man. We want it. We want it now. That's your equity. You've earned it. Get it out, right? With their AI-driven technology, gets you approved and is funded in as little as a day. Low fixed rates, lightning fast transfers. You can do it too. Consolidate your debt, improve your home. Take control of your finances in 2025. You could be credit card debt-free by this time next week. Just call Loan Pronto now, 619-207-4336, or visit loanpronto.com. Get your free rate quote now with no hard credit pull at 619-207-4336 or loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Don't Do This is brought to you by Trust and Will. Don't leave your entire estate, house, kids, and life savings up to chance if and when you die. Do set up a trust or will online at trustandwill.com. It's a lot more affordable. This is a lot more affordable than you think. Visit trustandwill.com for more info. All right, I will start us off today in college football. And I think, it must be tough to be a modern college football coach. You're dealing with NIL, recruiting, boosters, your athletic department, giant coaching staff. It's like running a big corporation. But the hardest thing,
a big corporation made up of kids.
Yes, and the hardest thing I think for the older coaches, like guys in their 60s, relating to 19, 20-year-olds on their roster. Rich Rodriguez is back for a second stint now as the head coach at West Virginia, and he feels like West Virginia should be a tough football school.
I agree.
Tough image.
Yeah.
We're West Virginia.
West Virginia.
We're Mountaineers.
Yeah.
We want a tough image. And in doing so, he's decided that his players should no longer be allowed to dance on TikTok. I guess it's part of the TikTok trend. A lot of athletes have been posting themselves dancing. He doesn't like it. Here's what he had to say about it.
They're going to be on it, so I'm not banning them from. I just ban them from dancing on it. It's like, look, we try to have a hard edge, whatever, and you're in there, in your tights, dancing on TikTok. Ain't quite the image of our program that I want. And I'm allowed to do that. I guess I can have rules now. When they, like I said, 20 years from now, they want to be sitting in their pajamas in the basement, eating Cheetos and watching TikTok or whatever the hell, they can go at it, smoking cannabis or whatever. Knock yourself out. But, the hope or focus could be on winning football games. How about let's win the football game and not worry about winning the TikTok.
Okay. Smoking cannabis is the best part of that. How did you bury that lead,
cannabis,
dude? That's incredible.
So
it's like Footloose, Dominic. I said that earlier before the show started. It's like Footloose.
Smoking cannabis.
Sit and judge it on you. Oh my!
Eating Cheetos and watching TikTok or whatever the hell, they can go at it. Smoking cannabis.
Save that forever.
A big Wade Phillips Fortnite vibe.
Yeah,
that's
Fortnite. Well. Can we add that as a play-in game? Because smoking cannabis is incredible. Wade Phillips Fortnite.
That's a real throwback.
That is that's the old station.
That's us having Wade Phillips on, first of all.
So, Coach Phillips, hell of a D coordinator.
Fortnite.
We didn't have a football team here. We were interviewing Wade Phillips,
coordinator.
Oh, God, remember the Rams bit? Oh, Jesus!
Let's make the Rams our team, not the Chargers.
How did we survive, dude?
All right,
eating Cheetos and watching TikTok or whatever the hell, they can go at it. Smoking cannabis or whatever.
That's the great.
I just don't know if Rich Rodriguez has his priorities necessarily.
Hey, listen, maybe
in order. Spending 5 minutes putting up a TikTok of you dancing is not going to ruin your football program or its image.
Does. Maybe he has. Somebody said in the chat, I'd actually send my kid there now. It's funny.
I'm sure he won over some grandpas and West Virginia boosters. This is the kind of coach we needed,
bro.
At West Virginia, he's back.
I loved it. I think it's genius. I know. It's got to be hard, like you said, for the old heads to be like, the great coaches are able to embrace the new generation and relate somehow.
That's what I think.
Even if they're faking it, like you have to fake it until you make it. You just do, I mean, if you have little kids,
Dutch is the same age. He's not like that.
My kid comes home talking about Skibbity Toilet and Skibbity Ohio, and I just look at him. I go, "You sound like a moron. Stop. I go, "Do you know what it means?" He goes, "No." I go, "Then shut up. Stop saying it." Skibbity Toilet. What? So I think I'm Team Rich Rodriguez here. Listen, Bo, you want to sit in the basement and smoke cannabis and talk about Skibbity Toilet? Go ahead. I think I'm more on Rich Rodriguez.
Ganja, aka cannabis.
That is brilliant. That's a brilliant piece of audio that you found.
Thought you like that.
Well, this is some tough audio, but let me preface it by saying he's okay. He's coming back to work.
It was gnarly.
This was gnarly.
The don't do this here is you always have to be ready to move.
Oh, he
when
was
you
ready.
were at a spring training game.
He was ready.
You're pretty close to the action, even in the press box.
Well, and I'd like to give a shout out to Jesse Agler. Protect your neck, dude. Right? Like this could happen to our guys too. It was Seattle Mariners announcer.
Literally, same field.
Same field. Yeah, that's exactly right. Rick Riz. He was behind the mic for their game on Monday. A ball was fouled back, and this is what it sounded like.
On Hoskins. Now the set by Vargas. Here's the pitch. Swinging a foul.
Did it get you?
Did it get me?
Did it get you?
Yeah. Yes. What?
Hey, we're gonna take a quick break here.
Yeah, I'd say
We'll come back.
Right.
We'll come back right after this.
My partner.
So here's what happened. A ball came up to our booth, and Rick got hit. He got hit in the head. Tried to get out of the way. We did our best, and doing okay. He's fine. He's up. He's next to me. He's doing okay. So he's being checked out. Just a scary situation.
Did it get you? No, I'm writhing around here. I've got indigestion. I'm writhing around here in pain. And then he asks again, did it get you? Yes, it got me.
I was trying to think, like,
did you hear like he was gurgling? Like, yes, it hit me.
It sounded like they maybe had the headset with the mouthpiece, and he was like rolling around on the ground in the booth there.
You can hear him.
Here's the pitch. Swinging a foul.
Did it get you?
I'm not laughing at this.
Did it get you?
It hit me in the head. Did it get you? That's the don't do this. The color commentator. That's the don't do this.
100%.
Did it get you?
If all of a sudden, if we're sitting in here in the studio and all of a sudden I'm like,
Woods. Did it get you?
Did it get you? Are you okay? All right, we're gonna take a little time out.
Did it get you?
Just gurgling.
I'm sorry. I feel bad for laughing. I do, but I'm laughing at the guy that says, "Did it get you?"
I guess maybe he dove out of the way as well and didn't see it, but clearly the guy is in pain.
He
says, "Oh, my head
got me in the head,"
and
he's gurgling.
Did
he sounded like he's gonna die. He really did. He's fine. He's gonna be back to work today. If I'm Rick Riz, he's been doing this since Paulie was a little kid.
Yeah, he's been around forever.
If I'm taking the day today to myself, I'm going to take the day.
Did it get you?
Yeah. Sure did. Thanks for asking twice. God. Did it get you? Uh-huh.
All right.
A little bit.
Finally, a little do this on a Wednesday.
DD mega doo-doo.
This is a little visual. Paulie will put it up, I think, on the screen. It's hard to come up with interesting in-game promotions. NBA timeout, like how are you going to entertain? The dancers can't come out every single timeout. So in the Sacramento Kings game, Arco is a big sponsor. It used to be Arco Arena up there. They have this
amazing.
They have the new Perfect Pump Challenge where they bring out a person who's at the game. They have like a fake gas pump, and they squeeze the pump, and it's going up quickly, and you have to try to stop it exactly at $25.
Who doesn't do that every time they pump gas? I do.
Every time. Hit it right at the number.
Try to hit 70 yesterday.
This one's going really fast.
It is double.
You can play the audio. You won't be able to see it, but picture the numbers going up quickly.
Oh, good luck, dude. Attempt the perfect pump.
They squeeze in at 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's going up toward 25. You can't even see the cents going. They're going that fast.
It is
getting close. And stop.
He just got a perfect pump, baby.
Who is that? Is wrestling match?
He's the announcer. He's the
Tommy.
the Sacramento.
Tommy.
I don't do that. I never would do that.
That was incredible.
That was incredible.
He looks a little like you too.
No, he does not. No, he doesn't. I'm not backwards hat guy.
You're not backwards hat guy. Come on. But black top guy.
Yeah.
Got a bit some scruff on his face.
He looks more like Scraby. Yeah, Nate says he looks like Scraby. But he nailed it.
That guy. I mean, this isn't like some gamer. The guy who's doing it looks like he's about 75 years.
His facial expression didn't change. He just turned and gave
Wilford Brimley.
What do you think I am here? The effing night watchman?
Perfect pump.
That's incredible.
Just crushed it, dude. I mean, he's done this before. I mean, he's so good. Thank you, Benjamin.
And that's don't and do this for a Wednesday.
That was Don't Do This with Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan.
All right, coming up, we wait for it all year long. We will reveal the field of 32 for the 2025 Ben and Woods Tournament of Drops that is coming up next year on 97.3 The Fan.
First, I want to tell you guys about all the incredible deals going down at Sedano Ford. My friend Manny Sedano's local veteran-owned dealership, dishing out savings greener than a St. Patty's Day parade. Take the Ford F-150 Lightning. That is a pretty amazing, jaw-dropping deal at just $99 a month. Or the Bronco Badlands. That thing could be yours for just $275 a month. Then there's the Ford Maverick, a compact truck, packing about 35 miles a gallon, rolling in at just $275 a month. Manny Sedano Ford's mobile service, they will come right to your driveway, come change your oil for you. Just they're amazing at everything they do. Cruise into March with a ride that you will love from a local veteran-owned crew that you can trust. Head to Sedano Ford in La Mesa. Make sure to tell them Woodsy sent you. Manny and his team will bend over backwards to get you behind the wheel of one of their incredible Fords, Sedano style. These deals are so good. You will think that you have found an actual pot of gold as St. Patty's Day approaches. Don't wait. Rush to SedanoFord.com before these green March savings vanish under the San Diego sun. You'll be grinning from ear to ear, driving home in your brand new Ford. For more details about these offers, of course, you can go to SedanoFord.com.
Be careful out there on the roadways.
Yeah,
it's still wet out.
Slick.
Tomorrow is supposed to be the worst day.
Just
In
take
fact,
the day off.
Megan Perry was recommending if you could work from home
Okay, I will.
any day this week, tomorrow would be the day. The commute in the morning, it's going to be pouring.
Sounds good to me.
First yesterday, tier 1 basketball team that I run. I was not going to play last night.
Oh, I would have murdered you.
I was not going to be there.
You remember my story when I called in sick to work and still showed up for the company softball game, which my boss was there as well. And he's like, you didn't come to work today. I go, yeah, but I feel fine now. And he's like, you can't call in sick to work and then come play softball at 6 p.m. Moron.
Yeah, I was not going to play, but still managing for the team and letting them know updates. The game got canceled due to rain.
Basketball.
Indoor basketball.
What?
I grew up in Washington. A lot of rain.
Lots of rain.
A lot of basketball.
A lot of basketball. That's all there is to do.
I've never seen a basketball game get canceled due to rain, and I guess there are parts of the roof. I mean, it's Alliant University. It's massive. It's like an airplane hangar.
Yeah, dude.
For basketball gyms. And I guess there's a couple of parts where it can get a little leaky, and rain could get down onto the court. You don't want that.
Yeah,
obviously.
The problem is when it doesn't rain for 10 or 11 months here, you don't know that you've developed some cracks from the summer heat in your roof, and then all of a sudden you get all this rain. It's like
the roads
surprise,
aren't safe.
You've got leaks all over the place that you didn't know about.
Commissioner said he's like, I don't want to make people drive in dangerous conditions just to come up here and find out that the games are unplayable.
Yeah,
so it made sense. But I was
a rain
like,
out
for
you don't see
indoor basketball.
Yeah, you don't see a lot of rainouts for indoor basketball. Holy cow!
All right, are you pretty much ready, Paulie?
Oh, I'm ready.
All right, let's check traffic, and then when we come back, we are going to reveal the field, a little early analysis for the 2025 Men and Woods Tournament of Drops next here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is brought to you by local and veteran-owned Kearney Mesa Volkswagen. Got a few problems here. Northbound side of the 163 near Richmond. Collision over the right shoulder up ahead before the 8. Watch out for some debris in that right lane. Going to find on northbound 5 before La Jolla Parkway. Accident involving a car and a motorcycle. Appears to be blocking the slow lane. Still got the left lane of the transition ramp northbound 15 to the eastbound King Freeway blocked with a collision. San Diego, it's game time at Kearney Mesa Volkswagen, your local and veteran-owned dealership, now teamed up with Sedano Auto Group, dropping slam dunk savings. Drive the 2025 Volkswagen Jetta S, just $274 a month. Visit KearneyMesaVolkswagen.com for more details. And Kelly Danick with Ben & Wood, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
So here's how it works. Generally, Paulie will up with what he thinks are the 32 best drops of the year, and then I will seed them and put together the brackets and the matchups for the first round. And then
I'm the tournament director.
Yeah.
You're the bracketologist.
Exactly.
I'm just the fan.
And then after that, it's up to the tier ones. We have no control.
None.
We will start posting our matchups tomorrow with the first 8 first-round matchups, and then the second 8 first-round matchups on Friday. And then next week, we will narrow down the field to the Elite 8, the Final 4, the Final 2, and then the champion will be crowned next Friday when we're out at Dave & Buster's, I believe.
I love it.
So wrapping it all up, and then obviously there'll be the college basketball will be on at the end of next week. So that's kind of how it works. But it is now time for Paulie to reveal the entire field of 32 for the Ben & Woods Tournament of Drops.
You got a problem.
Ganja, a.k.a. cannabis.
I love Paul Skeens.
Hot beef.
Meryl Madness!
Thank you,
Can't
God.
even believe it.
Dylan Thief.
You're a crumb creep.
Oh, God. Oh, yes.
Oh, there he is.
The Padres have slayed the dragon again.
What's up, my dudes? How you doing?
Good.
We'll give it 16 minutes of salt, and then we'll, get back on the pump and figure it out.
I hate Christmas.
Bootylicious. Girls. 1, 2, swallow.
Bring gas.
Oh, put your pants back on.
I am not okay. Makes you pee, huh?
3, 2. Catching up Padres pitcher Michael King.
Treat yourself a round of sausage.
Raw dogging the Scissor Sisters.
Duval.
Put some money into the kitty.
La Pantera!
out you. Shake that butt.
Oh. Is that it? That's 32 right there.
32.
That's 32 drops that made it into the field for the tournament of drops, including the 1 seeds. And Paul, you did an amazing job. Not only was there a bracket,
video,
there was graphics and animation that went along with that. That was incredible.
Thank you.
That was fantastic. So what do we got? Our top seeds.
I'm flabbergasted
in each of the 4 regions, including our overall number 1 seed for this year's tournament. Doesn't mean you're going to win. In fact, usually it's a bad sign. But the overall number 1 seed this year, you got a problem from Hacksaw.
You got a problem.
This is the best thing ever. All right. Am I weird that I want to hear it again?
Yeah, we can play it one more time.
I want to hear it
Why
again.
not? You got to listen. I'm sure you missed one or two of them as you went along. So listen again closely. Here again, the 32 field tournament of drops.
You got a problem.
Ganja, a.k.a. cannabis.
I love Paul Skeens.
Hot beef.
Madness!
Thank you,
Can't
John.
even believe it.
Dylan Thief.
You're a crumb creep.
Oh, God. Oh, yes.
Oh, there he is.
The Padres have slayed the dragon again.
What's up, my dude? How you doing?
We'll give it 16 minutes of salt, and then we'll, get back on the pump and figure it out.
I hate Christmas.
Bootylicious. Girls. 1, 2, swallow.
Bring gas.
Oh. Put your pants back on.
I am not okay. Makes you pee, huh?
3, 2, 1. Catching up with Padres pitcher Michael King.
Treat yourself a round of sausage.
Raw dogging the Scissor Sisters.
Duval.
Put some money into the kitty.
La Pantera!
Little out you. Shake that butt.
God, that's strong.
Jeez.
You got a problem. We've got hot beef as the number 1 seed. Hot beef.
Yeah.
We've got who are the other 2 number 1 seeds? We've got Woods, Dylan.
I
Thief.
love Paul Skeens.
Oh, Paul Skeens. I love Paul
That one.
Skeens.
Ganja, a.k.a.
Ganja,
cannabis.
Ganja, a.k.a. cannabis. Adam's worried that Slay the Dragon again is going to be the winner. I don't know if that's a favorite, but certainly a possibility. But yeah, just looking at this bracket, we've got the 4 regions. We'll have the first 8 matchups for you tomorrow. Anything that you felt like was over or underseeded, like immediately? Like, why did that one come so
I thought
late?
Hawk Tua as a 4 seed was interesting. I thought that was one of the sound bites of the year.
It was.
People got tired of it.
But I just didn't know if it was.
She was a little problematic
got-
at the end, but
get a
the
little
drop
old.
itself.
That hurt definitely at seeding. But it was significant for the year. I'm not sure that I may have switched up the 2 Woods moaning. Maybe the second one actually should have been a higher seed, but that doesn't matter. It'll all play itself out when we actually go through the matchups. And
I mean,
I don't know
winners.
why, but it's a 7 seed. It murders me every single time.
The Scissor Sisters.
That's a good one. Yeah, the Scissor Sisters. That freaking Luke Bryan got me real good. I forgot about that.
Shake that butt.
Oh, Merrill Madness will probably win.
That's what I think.
Will win. That is really good.
A 2-time Don Orsillo champion.
Yeah, could be. Crumb Creep is a legend, though.
I love that one.
You're a crumb creep.
It's epic. It's epic. Kez says, Wood's the type of dude that sleeps mouth open snorting. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, that was my sleep apnea interview with Michael King where I'm just.
3, 2.
What is my.
Catching up with Padres pitcher Michael King. The Padres dugout about to launch.
Somebody in the chat earlier just said, I think about that at least once a week. Woods is breathing during
Just
that.
wait till the next in dugout interview. I'm just going to just hold
1,
my
2,
breath.
swallow.
Oh,
I think Pete Fairbanks, the 4 seed, 16 minutes of salt.
Yeah, that was great.
16 minutes of salt,
We
and
played
then
it.
we'll,
Played it a
get back
lot.
on the pump and figure it out.
Played it.
That made our losing Padres recap open for this last
Honestly,
year.
this was a year we probably could have had 64. I'm not even kidding. There were so many this year.
The Padres have slayed the dragon again.
That's elite. I mean, that is absolutely elite right there.
I was a little surprised John Heyman made it as a 2 seed.
John Heyman.
That's a good drop.
Thank you, John. Believe it. Oh, my God. Very upset at Keith McPherson on WFAN. Wow. No, I love it. I love it. Put your pants back on.
That might need to. Maybe that should have been higher.
That's all right.
I mean, there's always going to be a couple of seedings that you have issue with.
Raw dogging was elite.
I think this is our most recent one from like last week.
Put some money into the kitty.
Yeah, put some money in the kitty. Your favorite thing to do.
I think there's definitely a bias against too recent and too far away.
Right.
You need to have some time where they build up, but you don't want them to be overused and forgotten about as well.
Treat yourself a round of sausage.
That was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. I mean, I could treat yourself a round of sausage. What? Treat yourself a round of sausage.
It was
sausages for everybody.
Like a moron could look at the board and say, "It's give yourself a round of applause."
Right.
Treat yourself a round of sausage.
Does that guy get worn out everywhere? His buddies just kill him, right? Like on his front porch, they just hammered sausages everywhere. Like when he got home, it's one of the best. Janine says the dragon one is just depressing. Oh, imagine working here and hearing it play. And knowing it, you lost.
Imagine checking into your hotel on vacation and getting the phone call that played.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, what?
Paulie's panicked that day because he thought he might have screwed something up. And I said, no, you're in the clear. You are in the clear. So that was
a little ouchie.
Yeah, a little ouchie. Who was he talking about?
Jackson Merrill. Jackson got a little ouchie.
Jackson got a
A little ouchie.
Bring gas. Bring gas is amazing. This is great. This is great.
I hate Christmas.
I hate Christmas.
So we'll go more specifically through the first 8 matchups tomorrow.
Yep.
When we post them online, and you can start doing the voting, and we'll give, I think, more detailed explanations of each drop in case. I mean, no one knows the origins. I think of all 32.
No,
you're a real diehard if
makes you pee, huh?
If you know all of them.
Sander, make you pee, huh? It was like
makes
Adam.
You pee, huh?
It was like Adam answering the phone yesterday. Hello. Do you want to play Take on Woods? What's your name? Where are you calling from? Okay. Paul, you would have died. You would have died.
You got a problem.
Are you okay with that as the overall number 1 seed?
Oh yeah.
I thought you.
Are you kidding me?
I had you in mind.
Are you kidding me?
When I made that,
it doesn't really get much better than that.
That's of course from Hacksaw's hot take.
Yeah. You got a problem.
Webcast, podcast, whatever he's doing.
Correct.
All right. Speaking of brackets, just quickly here, since we got a couple minutes at the top of the hour, we mentioned it earlier in the show, but San Diego State, huge game tomorrow against Boise State, could determine their NCAA future. We do not know whether or not Magoon Guath is going to play in that game yet. Brian Dutcher yesterday said he's doing more on the side. He's working out, moving laterally, taking shots, but is he going to be game ready for tomorrow? That's a day-to-day thing. They'll reevaluate him again today and tomorrow. Yesterday, though, Guath was named the Defensive Player of the Year and Freshman of the Year in the Mountain West Conference.
Solid.
And as Aztecs fans, you certainly dream on what that could look like next year. However, Magoon Guath came out, and when he was asked by reporters what his plans were, it's pretty clear. He said, I'm going to be exploring my pro options at the end of this season. Now, that doesn't mean for sure that he's not coming back, because you can go through the draft process, the
it used to
combine.
mean,
You
out.
declared you were done. Now you can withdraw your name from the draft as late as April or May. And, if he doesn't get great feedback, he may very well do that. But I got the sense listening to him that, he's hoping that this is the year that he gets to go pro, that someone wants to use a draft pick on him and he will move on. So it's possible these could be the last games for Magoon Guath in a San Diego State uniform. I hope, if that is the case, that he can be healthy and productive and help the Aztecs go on a bit of a run here in the NCAA tournament. At least get them in and give them a shot in the NCAA tournament and get back and get healthy again. But I definitely got the sense that we may be seeing the end of one and done Magoon Guath for the Aztecs, just based on what he had to say yesterday.
Yeah, that gives you a little pause, makes you a little nervous. But hey, shout out to the SDSU women, and they advanced to the championship game of the Mountain West basketball
Second straight
tournament.
year.
Yeah,
they upset UNLV, the top seed, and home team last night in the semifinals.
So they're in the ship.
They are playing Wyoming tonight for a spot in the NCAA tournament. They have not been in, I think, 12 years. I mean, what a year for March Madness this could be.
Yeah, man.
The San Diego State men, UCSD men are both on the verge of making it. SDSU women could make it if they win today. Shout out to the Point Loma men and women, both in the Division II tournament. By the way, if you want to watch exciting basketball, Point Loma is the number 1 seed and are hosting their region coming up later this week at Point Loma with the 8 teams in the Division II Western Regional in Point Loma. So they will be college basketball tournament action. It's not the top level, but it's the second level and pretty good hoops going on. So there's a lot of teams with a lot at stake this week. Mentioned UCSD. They play Friday in the Big West semifinals. Yesterday, anyone Tate Jones was named Big West Player of the Year. The Tritons really cleaned up on the conference awards after their fantastic season when they went 18-2 and won their first Big West title. Aztecs' Nick Boyd and Miles Bird were both named second team All Mountain West Conference. Aztecs didn't get any players on the first team. Donovan Dent was the Player of the Year in the Mountain West from New Mexico. I have no argument with that. Great player. They won the conference. I think that tends to be the right call. You got the best player and the best team. Unless it's truly like we got 5 guys, they're all pretty much equal, and there was a superstar on another team. You kind of got to go with the winning team if you're going to make a Player of the Year announcement.
He's a good player too, man. I mean,
he's a really good player.
Really good.
Nate Clifford is a good player for Colorado State, but they finished like 3rd place. Yep. So I think Donovan Dent was the right choice. So, yeah, I mean, both Boise State and Colorado State are bubble fringe teams that San Diego State does not want to see win the Mountain West tournament because they would be bid stealers and potentially at the expense of San Diego State if they got in. So that's why the game tomorrow is just so important for the Aztecs. Not only would it be the last boost to their resume that they need, but it would keep a team out that's trying to steal their spot.
The double whammy
by sweeping Boise State and pretty much ending any debate as to which Mountain West team would be the 3rd team into the tournament.
Got the tingles a little bit thinking about that game tomorrow. Should be, I mean, this is that time of year. And yeah, man, this isn't the big dance, but holy cow, dude, this is what gets you in. And it's going to be it should be a bloodbath, right? Like it should be a
2:30 in the afternoon is a weird time.
It is,
for a big game on a Thursday.
I mean, you're speaking my language, bro, when you're airing games at 2:30 instead of 8:30. I'm in hog heaven right now. Really, like this is perfect. What's the line? Can't find the line for that game.
I speculated yesterday.
You
I said Aztecs by
4.5.
4.5 is what I guessed. Can anyone confirm or deny that I
haven't seen anything
barely on my prediction?
Still haven't seen it.
Gonzaga won the WCC championship last night, upsetting number 19 St. Mary's 58-51. Was not a very good game, but the Zags have gotten 26 straight NCAA tournaments now. They were going to make it anyway, but they did it again as they always do. Probably like a 7 seed though this year for Gonzaga, not their best team. All right, that's a little college basketball. You got the field for the tournament of drops. I will come back. I know you want to know the update on the safe.
Oh my God! Finally,
house next on the Fan.
We are halfway home on a Wednesday. Ben and Woods, 97.3, The Fan. That was so much fun going over all of the entries to the Tournament of Drops. It's on our social media at Ben and Woods. I think Paulie's going to put it on Instagram as well. Also at Ben and Woods.
It's on Facebook, Instagram, X, it's everywhere.
Boom.
Voting will start tomorrow.
Voting starts tomorrow for your favorite drop. I really like Crumb Creep a lot. Crumb Creep Coward just kills me. Also a big Hawk Tua fan.
Hawk Tua!
In both senses of the use of the word, right?
One simply as a drop,
and the other the act.
Lucky you.
No, I said I'm a fan. I didn't say I'm a recipient, but I am a fan.
You wouldn't mind if it won the tournament, is what you're saying.
Yeah, that's another way to put it. Sure. Who doesn't need more Hawk Tua in their life?
Hawk Tua!
Sign up, raise your hand if you'd like more Hawk Tua in your life. Ben kept his hand down. That's weird.
Sorry, I did.
That's weird.
I was thinking about my safe update here.
Well, I'm ready for your safe update.
I know you've been really on edge to find out.
Yeah, my whole family has.
What's new?
My entire family has.
So if you missed it, 2 Saturdays ago, we had the the celebration of life for my grandmother who passed away, and kind of the farewell to the house they lived in LA for over 60 years. And at that celebration of life, a safe in the basement that was built into the ground was discovered, still there, and it was rusted and kind of sealed shut under some sandbags and dirt, but no one was able to get it open.
The context is that he had another safe, a safe that you knew about.
He had so many safes.
Right. This is the secret safe.
Well, I don't know. So my mom said the first one was really more of just kind of a regular lock box. It wasn't a giant safe.
But
this was an actual safe.
You found
there was money. Yeah, there was definitely money
in
when he passed away, almost 30 years ago, there was definitely money down there.
Yeah.
It wasn't in the safe.
Okay. So the family's kind of ambling around the house, and somebody stumble upon it. It's the dream. It's what I call the dream. It's going up into the attic and going, what is this painting? And Vincent van Gogh.
Right.
Wow, holy cow, Renoir. Like in your attic. And who knows what's in there. So you sent me a picture. I freaked out and showed my kids. My kids freaked out. Bo has asked me almost every day, what's the update? Now he stopped asking because it's been so long.
So again, it is deep in concrete.
Yeah.
Rusted solid down there. There's been some flooding damage. Don't know if it got into the safe or not. What is in there? Is it protected? Is it wrapped? Is there anything in there? So here's the update, because my mom is obviously curious, and her brother and sister, to know what could be in there. But my grandpa, who's clearly the one who probably put the safe in there and kept stuff in that safe, was a very sharp guy, very smart all the way to the end. And if there was something that he wanted known in there, she feels like it would have been taken care of before he passed away.
Okay.
Well, he didn't die unexpectedly, suddenly. He was ill for a while, but he was still sharp. So she doesn't think there's probably, there could be something in there, but she's not counting on expecting there to be. But she's done her due diligence and looked around for local safe crackers, like openers who can get it done. And the best quote she got was almost $1,000 to open the safe, which she doesn't think has anything in it. And she's just hesitant to pull the trigger and spend $1,000.
Wait, this is the update?
This is the update.
I thought there was an update on what was inside.
No. The update is that she has hit this stumbling block of whether she wants, but so she wants me to get the opinion of you guys and the tier ones. Is it worth $1,000?
Yes.
When you don't think there's probably anything in there.
What if there's $1 million in there?
That's the thing. There could be.
What if there's like a gold
more
bar?
Than likely it's gonna be open and it's empty, or
spiders and stuff.
Yeah, it's just
all right. How about this? If me and Woods split it, can we keep whatever's in there?
So she did say that if anyone wants to get it opened and be willing to come, negotiate like half and half or whatever on what's inside of it, she was definitely amenable to some sort of negotiation on that.
So there's another.
Now, do we have any tier ones who are safe crackers out there who are interested in this as well? I have no idea.
Nick said he'll do it for a Ben and Wood shirt. Done. I'll give you one anyway. But
can you do it? This is not. I don't think this is going to be an easy job necessarily.
Do you think it's going to be a hard job? It's so old and rusty.
Yeah.
I looked at it and went, okay, yeah, a couple of dudes
wax with a hammer,
like in a crowbar or something.
It's a steel safe. Yeah, it's got rust on it, but it's still steel, and it's buried in concrete in the ground in a basement that, it's kind of a scary basement. I'm going to be honest. When I was a kid, scariest room in my grandmother's house by far.
Oh, yeah.
Very terrifying basement with a rickety wood staircase down to the bottom, very narrow. One of those light bulbs with the chain that hangs down that you pull on and you hope it doesn't go out when you're
like
down there.
Creepy dungeon.
It's a very scary dungeony house.
Andy says, imagine being hesitant about $1,000 standing inside a Beverly Hills mansion previously owned by the Lakers team.
$1,000 is $1,000. It's not nothing.
So our buddy Derek texted me when we talked about this at first. He goes, I have an unopened safe in the house. I got a $300 quote to open it. Decided against it. So dumb. I've gambled on worse propositions. I said, what?
It sounds like this safe is probably just standing upright, though, not buried. This is why this one's even tougher.
He said, I'm a psycho. It just sits there with $1 million in it or nothing. Who knows? It's a floor safe. We uncovered it when we ripped out the flooring and replaced it. And I said, I'll give you the $300. We split what's inside. He never texted me back. But $1,000 is $1,000. And now let me think this over. So if I Venmo'd your mom $1,000,
she would definitely get it done.
She would get it done. But I know I could trust her. Let's say she found $50,000 in there. I know I could trust her to give me my cut.
Oh,
that's not. Of course she would.
She's very trustworthy. No doubt about that.
There's no doubt about that.
You're welcome to come up when the safe crackers are doing their job and film it. We could do a Geraldo type special if we wanted.
Why couldn't he live in like San Marcos?
I know.
It is, you know what I mean? That's about as far as I want to go.
It's a lot of traffic. You got the 405 to deal with. It's yeah. So
I was hoping for an update. There it is. Paulie just put it in the chat. I guess now that I look at it, you'd need like a jackhammer to get around it to pull it out.
There's a lot of work.
There's a lot of work
to go into opening this safe. The front is rusted, but the lock
looks good.
Looks still good, like solid.
But they had the combo and they can't get in with it.
No, and they did find the combo, but they couldn't get it open. So
yeah, Balsamic Vinny said that thing looks too old. It might be from a previous homeowner, right? It could be, right?
I just
they lived there forever, didn't they?
They lived there for more than 60 years.
Okay, then there's kill count says there's nothing in there. How do you know though? I want it. I need to know. Really need to know.
It is an intriguing mystery, no doubt about that.
$1,000,
but in the end, the only person that may profit would be the safe cracker, like $1,000 of business right there.
$1,000 of business. Now she has what, a brother and a sister? You said, and they don't want to whack it up.
I don't know.
$333 a piece gets it done. I'm really debating this. I'm really debating it. Could be vintage Lakers memorabilia.
I just think if anything is like cloth or
it's toast.
It's gone. It's again flood damage.
Even
been in there
money.
forever.
Even money.
It's been in there decades.
Even money.
Yeah.
Like cash.
He died more than 25 years ago, so it's been at least untouched for that long, and who knows how much longer before that. Long time.
Maybe for the Christmas show, we'll yank it out of the ground, bring it up here. All right, maybe we'll do this in December. But keep it on the back burner, Kim. But you guys are they raising the house?
Yeah, they are. I think we've got a limited time window. It's either going to get done or I don't know. That may be the expensive part. Like
keep it down at my house. It's like it's both ours.
You got a quote of $300 to get a safe open, but I think that what makes this one so hard is where it's located and how deeply it's embedded into the ground.
I really want.
Yes, it's been underwater done. It's been flooded. It's not in good shape.
Kill count said, what if someone farted in the safe, sealed it shut? Whoever opens it get a couple decades.
But McKee says doubloons don't rot. I don't know why my grandfather would have doubloons.
Doubloons. KG says he'll do $1,000 for 20%. What if it's 20% of nothing though? Of hair.
I feel
spiders.
I feel bad if a tier 1 spent that kind of money and there was no return on it.
I feel like there's gold bars in it. big fat gold bars.
It's not huge, obviously. You saw the picture
Yeah,
of
but
it,
gold bar, you could fit 5 gold bars,
which would be worth a lot of money.
100%. And gold would hold up.
True. Jewels would hold up.
Oh my God, jewels.
We have a caller. I've not screened
All
it.
right, bring it on.
Just bring him on.
Bring him on.
All right, 97 through the fan. Is this Jesse?
Yes, hi guys.
Hey, buddy.
What's up, Jesse?
Great show. Got the answer for you.
Okay.
Call the maker of the safe and give them the serial number. See if they'll open it. No charge.
Call the maker of the safe.
Well, I mean, we have, like you said, they found the combo. I don't know the maker of the safe. If we even find who it's buried in the ground first.
Buried.
I don't know if the serial number's on there. It's a good thought. But I don't know whether we can even figure that out. Is the company still in existence? That safe could have been made by a company 50, 60 years ago.
Yeah.
When the house was first going in. So
it's a mystery.
And a good idea, Jesse.
It's
Thank
a good
you for
idea.
calling.
It's such a mystery. I know if it was me and I would pay it. But I get why your mom's reluctant to do it, because $1,000 just lighting it on fire, kind of tough.
Yeah. I agree with that. But there's a
huge
but though in the question.
Even if there's one gold bar, it's worth it.
All right, so there's your somewhat disappointing update, Woods, but I did follow through for you and at least show you where they're at.
So here's the thing. I'm going to let you and your mom, who's probably listening, know this. I'm not going to relent on this.
Okay,
so
fair enough.
That is truly an update, but I need the final update at some point. I will not quit.
I know you won't.
You know I won't.
I know. I don't know that she knows how persistent you are.
She does
when it comes to these things.
I'm gonna text her right now.
All right, let's get a contestant on the line for Take on Woods. In our next segment, you'll have a chance to battle Woods and win a trip to Las Vegas, concert tickets to Alanis Morissette. 833-288-0973. 833-288-0973. Call in now. We'll play our game coming up next. Somehow, ironically, always ends up with a Trust and Will commercial when we're talking about what was bequeathed in that safe. I mean, who does it go to legally?
Legally, me. If I pay for it,
we don't necessarily know who it goes to legally. The state may decide what gets in that safe if you don't make your wishes known by setting up a trust or will online at trustandwill.com. So much more affordable, Woods, than going to a lawyer who's going to bill billable hours. Insane. This is not. This is a really simple and easy to do process, and you get the same legal documents at the end.
That's exactly right. And you're going to want to avoid probate and get a trust. There's no reason not to just get it done. Takes about 20 minutes online, all the directions that you need right there. It's super affordable way to do it. And for me, it was just a super easy way to do it. Sitting at my desk, all I did is I went to trustandwill.com. I used the code San Diego. When I check out, you get 10% off and free shipping of your estate documents. So get it done. Go to trustandwill.com. Use the code San Diego, one word, when you check out.
Bequeath your jewels.
And bequeath your jewels, your gold bars, whatever you may have. Whatever you may have.
At trustandwill.com. All right, we got Sam Levitt joining us at the bottom of the hour, and he's got hard out to get to some work. So let's get right to it. It is time to play a little Take on Woods. All right, Take on Woods is brought to you by Bay Alarm, security and fire alarms for every business. We got you. Maybe you want to protect a safe in your basement. Bay Alarm is the way to go. All right, let's go with Jared today. Jared, are you there?
Nope, he just dropped
All
out.
right, let's go with Roger. Roger, are you there?
Hey, good morning, guys.
Good morning, Roger. Always dependable and a chance to qualify for our grand prize drawing this month. It is a 2-night stay in Las Vegas at the Flamingo, and then 2 tickets to see Alanis Morissette at the Coliseum at Caesar's Palace, plus a $100 gas card. You can go to Ticketmaster.com to get your own tickets. All right, we know this is going to be a good game today. We've had some good ones this week. Here are your categories to choose from. We have This Ends Tonight, 5 song titles ending with the word tonight. Playing Defense, 5 song titles to begin with the letters D-E. And Singing the Blues, 5 song titles that include the word blue. So This Ends Tonight, Playing Defense, or Singing the Blues. Roger, what would you like?
Let's try the defense one and let him have the category.
All right, so a head-to-head matchup, Roger versus Woods. They both get the category. So again, 5 song titles. Every song title begins with the letters D-E, and then it just goes on from there. All right, you'll need 60 seconds. You can pass, obviously, if you don't know an answer. First question's the 2-second song. Paulie's queuing it up now. You need to give both that song title and the artist to score that point. I know you know how to play, Roger, so this is pretty much for everybody else who may be joining us for the first or second time. Roger, you ready to go?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's put 60 seconds on the clock, Paulie. Your time begins when we play the music for our 2-second song. The category is Playing Defense. Good luck, Roger. Let's take on Woods.
Desire You Too.
Correct. You wouldn't wake up until January 1st if you followed the directions of which 1995 hit song by Collective Soul?
December?
Correct. Paul Stanley wrote which 1976 Kiss song, Party, as an ode to Motown?
Detroit Rock City.
Correct. The Eagles asked the question, why don't you come to your senses, in which 1973 hit?
Desperado.
Correct. Imagine Dragons followed up Radioactive with which 2013 hit that spent 61 weeks on the Billboard Hot 100 charts?
Oh, dear God, I hate Imagine Dragons.
So does Woods.
Is Woods on the phone?
Yeah. They all start with D-E, right?
They do.
Pick a word.
Demons?
Did you get it? I think he got it. Wow, that could be the winner.
Holy crap.
Yeah, we saw it in the chat. A couple people got it. Congratulations, Roger. You are in 5 for 5. You have got them all right. Desire, U2, December, Detroit Rock City, Desperado, Demons. I'm assuming Woods gets the first 4 as well, so it'll all come down to the last one, Roger. So Roger has given you the category today. The category is Playing Defense. All 5 song titles start with the letters D-E. Okay. 60 seconds back on the clock. Woods, your time begins when Paul plays the music. Good luck. Let's take on Roger. Desire by U2. Correct. You wouldn't wake up until January 1st if you followed the directions of which 1995 hit song by Collective Soul? Crap, pass. Paul Stanley wrote which 1976 Kiss song partly as an ode to Motown?
Detroit Rock City.
Correct. The Eagles asked the question, why don't you come to your senses? In which 1970...
Desperado.
Correct. Imagine Dragons followed up Radioactive with which 2013 hit that spent 61 weeks on the Billboard Hot 100 charts?
These nuts.
Incorrect, although it does start with D-E.
Exactly.
You wouldn't wake up until January 1st if you followed the directions of which 1995 hit song by Collective Soul?
December?
Yeah. December. But Roger got Demons,
Did he?
which was the difference in the game.
That's where my demons hide.
5-4.
Played it
That's the
1,000
song.
times.
You know the song.
You know how...
You just didn't want to think about Imagine Dragons.
Like
and
if
it cost you the win today.
If you
or the tie.
If you don't believe that people can block out traumas in their life, I am a walking, literal example of blocking out traumatic events.
I will say, Roger got to the last question. And he goes, "Oh, I hate Imagine Dragons." And I go, "So does Wood."
Yeah.
So this will probably decide the game, but he came up with it.
I don't hate them as people; they're nice people.
You did not. So congratulations, Roger. You are in. We will get your information. Paul, I'm sure, already has it. Let's take an early timeout, though. Give Sammy as much time as possible. Again, he's got to get out of here around 8:45. So we'll head out to Peoria,
Where's
Arizona.
he got to be?
I think Mike Schilt or someone. He's got clubhouse opening availability. So talk to spring training Sammy next year with Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan. Tony in our chat wants to know, what does one order at DZ Aikens? Pastrami, matzo ball soup. You can go to the one in Peoria that we take Sammy to. That's a good Chompy's Deli.
Chompy's delicious.
New York Deli.
So I got in trouble for cursing.
That's true. Last time we saw Sammy, we were up at Chompy's, and Sam Levitt joins us right now from the Peoria Sports Complex. A little spring training Sammy on a Wednesday morning. Hello, Sam. How are you?
Hi, good morning. A little bit of a rainy, cloudy morning here in Peoria, but sun is starting to peek out a little bit. If I can get involved on the DZ Aikens conversation,
please,
because amazingly, it took me over 2.5 years to actually go to DZ Aikens for the first time in San Diego, and I grew up going to the New York delis. This is kind of what I get. I get the mishmash or the mishmash soup, matzo ball, noodles, kreplach.
What is that?
It's like a dumpling. It's like a filled pocket of,
what's in it?
It's like a wonton, essentially, like a Jewish wonton.
Yeah, essentially.
Do they only have the one location by San Diego State?
I think so. Yeah, just the one.
Yeah, and then if I'm like getting the mishmash soup, if you get it with everything, is a lot in and of itself. But I've also had like a pastrami sandwich there, very good. Get a little Russian dressing on the side, and then also and then I've also had their knishes, which were good. I love a good knish, square, not round, like a square knish. So I'm a big fan.
DZ Aikens. My father-in-law's picture hangs in there. The great Lauren Nancaro. There's a signed photo of him in there. Everyone always tweets at us when they go into DZ Aikens.
Yeah, they used to put local TV personalities on the walls.
Are you up? You must be in there. You've been here 20-something years.
Don't think I'm on the walls of any restaurants anymore.
Oh, anymore? Did you used to be?
There was a Mexican place that they put my picture up, but I think they sold it because it wasn't there anymore. So
they sold what? The picture?
No, they sold the restaurant. I think they sold the restaurant. I was the only picture up there. So
you're joking.
No.
I bet you went twice a week.
Of Fame, I was the only one on there. I did, and then they were gone. So
gotta go see your.
Well,
picture.
then I lost the weight, so I couldn't eat Mexican, true. So I wasn't there for a while. And when I went back, my picture was gone. So
that's fantastic. Sammy Levitt out at spring training. Gavin Sheets had quite a day. He's had quite a few days out there. We talked about it a little bit this morning, and I mean this is how you make a ball club. I mean the team that needs left-handed power, and you are showing. He's always kind of shown it, Sammy, but everyone kind of knew it was in there. Seemingly, they've kind of gotten it out of him here in San Diego as opposed to Chicago. And what did Schulte have to say about him yesterday?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think he certainly adds an element of power, and that's what Mike Schulte has talked about, just that element of power. And I think the other thing that the Padres are really happy about in regards to Gavin Sheets, and something that Gavin himself talked about a couple of times yesterday, is there's clearly been a lot of work put in, and he has clearly worked very diligently with this hitting coaching staff at making some changes, a lot of work in the cage. I think, he understood it was going to be a process. I think he feels like the results weren't coming early on, but he's seeing the results of the work. So, look, Mike Schilt, clearly excited about him. We'll see kind of what this all means, but you guys are right. 5 home runs in 4 games, and the kind of power he has. And we talked about it a little bit at some point in the last couple of days. I think the one thing you can also note about Gavin Sheets, even though he's never hit 20, 25 home runs in a season, is that, in 100 plus games, he's hit 15 before. Yeah. Like if you could make him, just a better hitter and tap into that power even more, which, again, it sounds like there's some pretty serious work going on with Gavin Sheets behind the scenes right now. Who knows what he can be? I mean, if he could somehow, make this team and hit 20 to 30 home runs, that would be outstanding. So it's a pretty interesting story with Gavin Sheets, and anytime somebody has a run like that, you got to pay attention, and it certainly seems like the Padres are.
I get the skepticism. He was let go by the Chicago White Sox, who are not exactly brimming with talent, and they didn't even have a place for him. But I was reading today, and I don't know how much you talked to him, but working with his dad and kind of going back to, it reminded me of Jurickson Profar last year, and kind of going back to the basics, what got him to the big leagues in the first place, Sammy.
Yeah, and I should also mention that something both Mike and Gavin talked about was their mutual relationship with Tony La Russa, actually playing a pretty impactful role in Gavin first signing here, and then Mike Schilt reaching out to Tony about Gavin. And Mike noted that the first year Gavin was with Tony La Russa in Chicago, they won the division, and Tony alluded to Gavin being a big part of that. And then Gavin a little bit later talked about some of the similarities he sees in the way Tony La Russa runs things and the way Mike Schilt runs things, which is expected, because we know Mike Schilt is a huge admirer of Tony, and Tony La Russa was a mentor to Mike Schilt for a long time. So Ben, clearly there's been a lot of work put in, both individually with Gavin Sheets, and again, I thought it was pretty evident yesterday that there's just a lot of work being put in here. Talked about trusting what this staff is giving him, and look, we've often talked for a long time about Ruben Niebla, his impact on pitchers. It's a standard question you seem to ask every new pitcher that comes here, the impact that Ruben and Ben Fritz and the pitching staff has on them. But let's not forget, Victor Rodriguez showed up here last year as hitting coach, and not only had this team with the highest batting average in Major League Baseball, but they also struck out as few times as anybody in Major League Baseball. And this was a great offensive team. So we'll see what year 2 looks like, but I don't think it's a crazy idea that you could get guys in here a la Gavin Sheets, work with them, tap into what makes them, good a little bit more, and maybe you see something pretty special happen. So we'll see. Again, it's spring training, so this happens where guys kind of come on the scene and make a name for themselves with the fan base and the organization. So we'll see. But hey, if you're Gavin Sheets, you can't be doing any more than what you're doing right now.
Yeah, Nate says in the chat, haven't we seen guys blow us away in spring training, never hear from them again? Yeah, it's absolutely fair. I mean, you look at who's leading Major League Baseball in home runs right now. It's Trace Thompson. Remember Trace Thompson? And, look, but
Gavin Sheets has a bit of a track record.
He's got a little bit of a track record.
Guy out of nowhere
exactly.
who's having a good week.
Exactly. And the other thing, and now, it comes up in the chat, Sammy, trade Jake. Who asked that question about Crony yesterday? What is his value? I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah, it was Kevin Acee. Okay. The great Kevin Acee. And I want to make something clear, and I don't want to speak for Kevin, but I don't think this is what he was trying to do by asking the question.
Right.
I realized the moment I sent out the tweet that it had the potential for people to read the question, because I didn't include it in the video, to read the question and intimate that it was somebody like asking about like what would be his value,
like
what
why is he here, right?
And it was not like that from Kevin. I want to be clear, and I probably should have done a little bit of a better job than that. I think Kevin was really asking, like, as a player, person, clubhouse guy, what's the value of Jake? That's I think what Kevin was going for. And Mike Schilt, like I posted, went on a 3+ minute answer, detailing all of the tools that Jake has, the baseball IQ he has, the person he is, the versatility he has. And, look, never say never. It would seem odd to me here 2 weeks before spring training for there to be a trade of that magnitude. I know you guys played the Ken Rosenthal audio yesterday a little bit. If there is one guy that will make a deal to move a piece and do something you don't see coming, it is AJ Preller this time of year in spring training. So never say never. But look, it's no secret how I feel about Jake. I think he's really valuable in a lot of different ways. I mean, I will say this too, outside that answer about Jake yesterday, for Mike Schilt, just about his value. The other thing that Mike said yesterday, and he was asked about, which was really interesting in regards to Cronenworth, is that he doesn't see him playing first base. He said it's not on the radar.
Not on the radar
right now. Yep. And that was pretty interesting, because I think a lot of us, when Iglesias got signed, thought, okay, maybe there are days where Iglesias will play second base and Jake will play first base and Luis Arraez might be the DH, or there just may be days where maybe Arraez is the DH, somebody's playing second and Jake's playing first. But Mike Schilt pretty much shut that down yesterday. So it seems like Jake's going to play second base. look, could that mean that you might see a little bit more platooning there against left-handers? Maybe. But I thought that was interesting because we've seen Jake play a lot of first base over the last couple of years, and you start getting the wheels turning as to what that could potentially mean for the roster construction if Jake's not going to play over there, which Mike Schultz said he's not.
And a long piece this morning posted in the UT. The Padres know the worth of Jake Cronenworth from Kevin Acey.
Yeah,
so
I'm skimming it right now.
You can read it right now. Before you go, Sammy, a big day. Padres going to the Colorado Rockies. Big day for Omar Cruz. He's going to get the start, and they want him to go first, so he faces some of the Rockies regulars. What do we know about the lefty Omar Cruz?
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I did an interview with Omar, and I posted it, I don't know, about a week and a half ago or so, and he's an interesting story. He was originally signed by the Padres. He was part of the Joe Musgrove deal, that the package of guys that went to Pittsburgh for Joe, and then he was later they got him back a little bit later. The Padres did, so he's been in the system, got traded, then he's come back. He was actually in the final year of his minor league contract last season, put together a really good year, mostly out of the bullpen. He has started before as well. And then decided to re-sign with the Padres as a minor league free agent before this last season. And it was a place he was comfortable and he likes it here. And, obviously put together a nice year in 2024. As a guy who, again, you can look up his numbers last year, out of the bullpen in the starting role. They've been good. Left-hander, has good stuff on the backfield. He's faced some of the big groupings early in spring. So it's going to be interesting. And I think the Padres just want to get a look at him in that kind of environment now with camp, whittled down a little bit. So good opportunity for Omar Cruz. It really is, because he could be somebody that you see come up in either a relief role, a spot start, something like that, depending on how the Padres use him in the minor leagues and contribute. I would definitely put him in that group of guys that you just never know you might need at some point as far as pitching depth. So he's an interesting story and I think a pretty intriguing prospect as well. So good opportunity for him.
All right, Sammy, we'll let you go. Appreciate your Padres takes and your Kreplock and Knish takes as well. Thank you.
Yes, those takes I'm much more passionate about than anything in the world.
I hear you.
My Knish and matzo ball takes. Yes.
Thank you, buddy. Spring training, Sammy.
See ya.
You'll hear him obviously later in the day as well here on 97.3 The Fan.
Beautiful.
It's obviously you see when the Padres go on the road, it's different because they don't take all their regulars, but you face more regulars when you're on the road. So it's actually a better test for some of your pitchers to make the bus trip across town to Salt River Fields and, play a team like, even though it's the Colorado Rockies, they'll probably have most of their major leaguers in a lineup today. So if you want to see a guy against major leaguers, you got to put him on the bus and send him somewhere else. And that's what they're doing with Omar Cruz today.
Yeah, I mean, this is a huge game for the San Diego Padres because it is against the Colorado Rockies.
The team that they need to play well against this year. It's very
This
AJ.
is a must win, right?
Must win.
It's very AJ to trade away a guy and then get him back later as well. It's like, hey, we're trading you now, but don't worry. I'll pick you up again in a year or two. We'll see you again soon at some point. He wants a prospect for AJ Preller. Always a prospect.
Yeah, I do think that, heads should roll if we don't come away with this dub today. Set the tone early with these guys. Let them know when they see us coming, hell's coming with us.
No more, it's still early.
No more, it's still early. Not as it pertains to the Colorado Rockies. This game is important and it's meaningful.
All right, did you see the hot take from Max Scherzer this week? I will share it with you.
Please
after
do.
A check of traffic here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is sponsored by Valvoline Instant Drive-Thru Oil Change, your trusted instant drive-thru oil change. Slick roadways from scattered showers have been causing a share of problems this morning, guys. So, I want to give yourself a little extra time. Right now, we have this 2-vehicle accident northbound 15 before the 805. It's over the right shoulder, clearing an accident on northbound 5 before La Jolla Parkway, trying to get that moved over to the right shoulder. Now South 5 coastline before La Costa. We have reports of a collision involving 2 or 3 vehicles. They managed to get over to the right shoulder. Stop by any of the 30 San Diego Valvoline Instant Oil Change Centers. You don't have to get out of your car, and it usually only takes 15 minutes or less. Plus, get a free courtesy check of your tires and battery. Visit SoCalOilChange.com for directions and discounts. SoCalOilChange.com. I'm Kelly Danick at Ben & Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
So Max Scherzer, now with the Toronto Blue Jays this week, came out strongly in favor of something we've discussed in the past, an idea that's been floated around Major League Baseball in the last year or two, and that is the idea of the qualified starter, and not to qualify to get the win, but to force pitchers to go deeper into games. No more openers. If you are starting, they want you to go deeper into the games. And as an incentive to do so, Max Scherzer said he'd be in favor of a qualified starter. And that is essentially, you can't take your pitcher out until he's either thrown 6 innings, thrown 100 pitches, or allowed 4 runs. At that point, you may make a change. If you make a change before that, you lose your designated hitter for the game. And he went even further, throwing out this idea, which I hadn't heard, Woods, that if you don't get a qualified starter through your 6 innings or 100 pitches, then if the game goes extra innings, you also don't get a ghost runner to start extra innings, which would be pretty huge. I mean, getting a ghost runner versus not getting a ghost runner, I would imagine the ghost runner team would win 90% of the time.
Look, man, Max has got about a year left, okay, in baseball at the moment. So maybe 2, right? He's been doing it a long time. He's made his money. He's won his World Series. I certainly respect him as one of the greats of our generation. I think it's asinine. I really do. And I think the rule changes in baseball, I think they are making correlations to the pitch clock and maybe some injuries. It's something that's going to take a couple of years for these guys to really get used to. So what Max is asking, essentially, Ben, is you're going to have to rework how you do everything. Now, there's an argument to be made in the minor leagues that guys should be throwing more, that their arms are babied, along the way. And single A, rookie ball, double A, triple A, there's that argument that you can be made. Like, oh, this is our guy coming up, Mackenzie Gore, right? Well, just throw him for 3 innings, just throw him for 4. We're not really trying to win these games. We're trying to develop. You're asking now, if a guy makes the jump to the big leagues and he's the 5th starter, he wins the job out of camp, he's got to throw 100 pitches. He's got to go 6 innings. I just don't think it's feasible. I don't. It's my number 1 draft pick. He's been coming up for 2 years. It's Kumar Rocker, whatever. Kumar, you won the job out of spring training. Guess what? You got to go throw 100 pitches every outing, or we lose our ghost runner and our designated hitter.
I mean, you can manage without a DH. Use a couple of pinch hitters later in the game.
What is the point?
It's not impossible. I think that's the question, though.
What is the point?
What are you getting out of it?
What are you getting out of it? Is it a more enjoyable game? They already have the 3-batter minimum. Okay, so that's taken out some of the, I'm going to get my lefty up for this guy, and I'm going to bring in my righty. Okay, so that's gone. But I think like, I'm all in favor of changing rules to make the game better. Like, I'm in favor of ABS. I'm in favor of certain things. I thought it was ridiculous at the time. I'm in favor of the bigger bases. You know what I mean? I'm in favor of banning the shift. It's pitch clock. I'm in favor of. But what you're now asking,
could this be another rule that you thought you weren't in favor of? And then
I don't think so.
I like you. I don't see the
guys are going to get hurt.
The big benefit at the end. I see more detriment. I would definitely be in favor of eliminating the rule that a starter has to go 5 innings to get a win.
Sure.
I mean, if that makes you feel better as a starting pitcher that you can go 4 1/3, give up 1 run and get the win, fine. I don't care.
Yeah, I mean,
the 5 inning thing is very, very 20, 30 years ago.
Yeah, you can give up 8. You can give up 8 in the first. You know what I mean? Like, you give up 8 runs and you're like, all right, you're going to wear it today. Your team comes back and takes the lead 9-8, and you get through 5 and you get the win.
I mean, you're not taking away a win from a more deserving pitcher. The guy who then came in and threw 2/3 of an inning.
He gets the dub.
And gets the W instead of you, even though you threw 5. You threw 4 1/3. Like Blake Snell, how many starts?
Oh my God.
4 1/3 innings.
He might have won
9
games.
Strikeouts, you know. 4 walks, no runs allowed, 115 pitches. Hey, you don't get the win because you didn't qualify for the win. Well, he was the guy who set the tone.
I don't know how
for you to win that game. I'm absolutely okay.
It's like an arbiter has to come in and make that decision every game.
The official
scorekeeper makes, he doles it out. But as far as this,
you won't have to. If you take away that rule, you will never have the official scorekeeper need to assign a win. It'll simply go to the pitcher that was in the game when the team took the lead, as is the case for 99% of all games that are played. And if it's the starting pitcher, you leave the game and you're up 8-0, but you only pitched 4 2/3 innings.
Right, you don't get a win.
You should get the win,
That's
not the guy who came in and threw an inning of relief after you. That's true. That has not made sense for a long time, and I really have no idea why baseball hasn't changed that rule.
But as far as this max thing, I don't understand. Like, okay, yes, honestly, like if you could draw up your perfect team, you'd have 5 starters that all went 6 innings, 7 innings every single time. But it's not 1979 anymore. It's just not. Like,
yeah, there's already a benefit to your starter going deep into the games. Resting your bullpen.
Correct.
You know, a guy who throws 7, does it efficiently in, 94 pitches, and keeps your bullpen guys from being completely torched by the time you get to September.
Fred nails it.
Is valuable.
Fred nails it in the chat. Fred Alexander, I don't know who you are, but all he says the point is it increases the value of starting pitchers. That's it. Which, by the way, you're already very valuable. You already get paid very, very, very well. And so that's probably the reason, but I don't know, man. Is it aesthetics? Does that play a part in it? I love to see a guy go out and throw 7 innings. I think it's great. It's fantastic. You give your bullpen a rest. You need 2 more guys, close it out. It's great, but it's also, you're going to tell Mike Schilt, you got to leave this guy out there to rot for 100 pitches or 4 runs or 6 innings? I don't think so, man. They've already.
Plus, would you change it like earlier in the season versus later in the season?
Right, exactly. Like, there's just way too much that can go wrong.
Even if you could argue in favor of the qualified starter, taking the ghost runner away, I think has too big of an impact.
I do too. It's very
on
weird.
A game based on something that happened in the 3rd inning or something.
Yeah.
So I disagree with Max Scherzer, but I thought it was worthy at least to bring up and discuss. All right, we'll come back. Biggest fan, Rounder Report, all in our final hour coming up next on The Fan.
Well, you were right, Benny, about the Rockies rolling out their regulars. They got their their star players. Colorado, you got Brenton Doyle, you got Tovar.
You said that with a bit of irony in your voice.
Well, I mean, they got good play. Like Brenton Doyle's a really good player.
Yeah.
Tovar's pretty good. Ryan McMahon's really good. Chris Bryant is Chris Bryant. Tyro Estrada.
He's actually been hitting the ball well this spring.
Who?
Chris Bryant.
He's batting 170s.
No, but he's hitting hard.
He's hitting it hard.
Hitting it hard.
All right. He's got a bomb. Tyro Estrada, Toglia, Goodman, Nolan Jones, and Sean Bouchard, local kid.
That sounds like a fairly representative Colorado Rockies lineup today.
And then for our beloved San Diego Padres, Jose Iglesias playing second base and leading off. Tirso in right field today, batting second. Gavin Sheets in left, batting in the 3-hole. Connor Joe playing first in the 4. Eggy playing short in the 5. Campy in the 6, catching. Oscar Gonzalez, the DH. Tyler Wade at third, and Brandon Lockridge bringing up the rear, playing center field. He's having a really good. And I remember we traded Eniel De Los Santos for him, which will be the steal of the decade. It's got to be. That's the losing Eniel, I think, helped this team tremendously.
I've got a thought on Gavin Sheets, but first we need to get to our biggest fan announcements, as it is 9:01, and it is time to give out another name to try to qualify them for our grand prize drawing. 20 tickets for you and your friends for a night in our Odyssey Suite at a Padres game coming up this season. You can register your name at 973thefan.sd.com/biggest fan. But this morning's biggest fan is Michael Brody from San Diego. Michael, you are on the clock. 833-288-0973. You've got 10 minutes to call us back. If you do, we'll put you into the grand prize drawing. If this was the regular season, clearly you ride the hot hand. Gavin Sheets is on fire. 100%. There'd be no way, even the least superstitious of managers would always. I mean, he's homered in 4 straight games.
Hit 2 homers yesterday.
Had 2 homers yesterday.
Off. Yeah,
I'm finding a way to get him into the lineup.
Yeah,
it's weird in spring for a guy to play 5 straight days. I don't know that I've ever seen a guy play 5 straight days in spring training.
Bro, you may be right.
You
may be right.
I mean, I don't know if it's happened since the 1980s that a guy has played 5 straight days in spring training. Do you really need to try to keep his hot bat going? There's no way he's going to stay this hot all the way to the season, right? So what are you going for?
I wish I knew. I mean, if I wish I could pick Schilte's brain and ask him, like, all right, man, like you just said, this doesn't happen ever. Like,
I was surprised when he played 3 straight games.
I was
too.
And
then yesterday he wasn't in the starting lineup, but they brought him in the 5th, and he got 3 at-bats, hit 2 more home runs. I thought for sure he's getting a day off today, but they're riding the hot hand in spring training right now.
It's wild, man. Yeah, Gus is going to end up with 16 homers in the spring. I know.
The Cactus League, the all-time record is within reach. Whatever the all-time record is, like 9 home runs or something in the Cactus League, is now in play for Gavin Sheets.
You just get the sense when you look at this lineup today, Benny, it's that kind of, obviously it's not the last chance for some of these guys because there's still games to play and plenty of ABs to get. But it is the lineup full of guys that are like bubble guys. You know what I mean? Other than maybe Hayward and Gurriel. But I mean, you can look at Campisano now and say, you're on the bubble, right? Like,
yeah.
You are absolutely on the bubble.
He's got options. He's absolutely on the bubble.
100%. You can if you look at Jose Iglesias, bubble. Tirso Ornelas, bubble. Sheets, bubble. Connor Joe, bubble. Eggy Rosario, bubble. Campy, bubble. Oscar Gonzalez, bubble. Tyler Wade, kind of a bubble now.
Absolutely.
And Brandon Lockridge, bubble.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is
the bubble team today.
This is bubble week in the NCAAs, and it's also bubble game for the San Diego Padres in their lineup today.
Yeah, 100%.
Every single one of those guys is not guaranteed a spot on the team, but every single one of them could make it. I'd say the longest shot is probably Oscar Gonzalez right now in that lineup.
Lockridge
is he's got that speed tool though.
Defense.
That makes him valuable even at the end of a 26-man roster. It's why he was on the playoff roster, right? He was on the playoff roster last year.
I think so.
I believe he was, just for that speed tool. I don't think he's making the team, but I think he's certainly in the consideration for it because of that.
And the other thing too, and it's a good point. I don't think this is true, Michael. Michael says 5 straight days means Preller's pumping him to dump him, showcase for other teams. I think with an option with Sheets, no, you don't have to give him to another team. I don't even know that anybody's going to jump. But
I mean, if someone came and offered you something,
but a guy like
decent,
but a guy like Eggy though, yeah. I mean, Eggy playing shortstop today. No options remaining. Yeah, that could be a guy another team's interested in.
I think that would be a dilemma for AJ Preller. If another GM goes, I need a DH badly, a left-handed power hitter, I will give you my 9th ranked prospect in AA right now, pitching prospect for Gavin Sheets. I don't think it would. AJ would have to consider that. I mean, Gavin Sheets is not anything close to a sure thing.
No, he's 28 years old.
He could have 10 at-bats this year, and look, it's not going to happen.
Yep.
And you say goodbye. There was no investment in him whatsoever.
Correct.
And if someone actually offered something for him, you'd absolutely have to consider that.
Yeah, and I don't think anybody's going to offer anything based on spring training home runs. I don't. But, you know, the power has always been there. Has he unlocked something? Yeah, so far in the last 5 days he has. We'll see if he can see it. All right, let's place our bets right now. Is he homer today?
No.
I'll say yes.
What's the bet? The mash?
Oh, hell no. Never mind.
How about
you kidding me?
I'll put $10 on it.
I mean,
I'd say
the odds are in the millions, I'm sure.
Right. That's
what do you mean in the millions?
Well, he's over 5.
This should be like if I put $10 up, I get 100.
Past results do not reflect the future. The odds of hitting a home run in a game are not in the millions. It's
whatever it is.
It's the same as it is every single game. Whatever a guy hits a home run once every in his career. 23 at bats?
Sure.
So it's probably and he gets 3 at bats in the game. So he's probably got a 1 in 8 or 9 chance of hitting a home run.
I'll bet you $10
in this game.
I'll take it.
So you shouldn't get even odds. I should be laying some odds to be a fair.
You're
bet.
15 for my 10.
Fine.
All right. Deal.
You got the red hot guy, and you get to cheer for him. I don't want to cheer against him, but it's never a bad bet to bet against a guy hitting a home run. You got Barry Bonds in his prime. He did not hit home runs in more games than he did hit home runs.
That's true.
Even though if you're watching him play the Padres, it felt like he hit a home run every single time. Technically, he did not hit home runs in more games than he did hit home runs in.
That's true.
It's never a bad bet to bet against a home run.
All right, 15 to 10. I'll take it. I want to root for Gavin.
You want
Sheets.
to? I get that.
Yeah,
I get that.
Last time I did this and bet against the Padres hitting a grand slam, I had to wear a diaper the next day, and Eric Hosmer is the one that put me in.
I'm the one betting against this time, and it's not a bad thing. It's
picture Ben saying,
"Well, it's almost a good
have the
thing,
same amount of odds as hitting a grand slam any other day. It doesn't matter if it's been 3 other straight days."
Yeah, how many in a row did we hit? Like
4.
4? Yeah, it's crazy. Slam Diego. I'd like to get back to Slam Diego days. Those were fun.
It is a crazy streak that Gavin Sheets is
crazy.
If it was in the regular season, we'd be naming streets after.
Cartwheels.
There'd be a mural up already of Gavin Sheets on some coffee shop in El Cajon.
Yep.
Promise you.
You're not wrong.
If he hit 5 home runs in 4 days, the muralists have been out overnight and they've already crafted that thing.
Yeah, no doubt.
Trying to just think of what are the slogans going to be?
Holy
Sheets.
Sheets.
Rallying cry. Holy Sheets.
Sheets hits the fan.
Oh God, that's close.
Yeah, it is
Jesse
close.
That might be closer than Holy
Sheets.
Good Sheets.
Yesterday.
Sheets.
I mean, we have Schilt
Holy
already.
Shilton Sheets is a Shilton Sheets. Don't shilt the bed.
Don't
sheet the bed.
shilt your sheets.
So dicey. So dicey. Who's throwing today? Omar Cruz is starting. That's right. Okay.
Yeah.
Freak in the sheets, between the sheets.
Ooh.
Okay. Do you have anything else?
Padres wise?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
We get some sad news to report.
Yeah, that is a bummer what we saw yesterday.
Wanted to let everybody know. I tweeted it. I think I retweeted it from Ben and Woods as well yesterday. Bryce Miller, longtime columnist for the Union Tribune, is struggling right now. He was diagnosed with cancer. We talked to him last year when he was diagnosed. Maybe it was the year before. It's been a minute, and he's not doing too well right now. So his family's put up a GoFundMe, contributed yesterday. If you're able to do it, please. His brother actually is the one that started the GoFundMe. Yeah, 2023 he was diagnosed with cancer. He's been amazing through it all. Extremely tough, and everybody listening in the audience has somebody that is been affected, certainly. So really, really good dude.
Bryce came to us from Iowa,
Yep,
where he was a columnist before. He is just a good Midwestern dude.
No question about it, man.
He's really nice. He's a good writer.
One of my favorite people in the industry.
Yeah, there's a lot of b-holes in this business, man. He ain't one of them.
Yeah.
He's been hospitalized at Kaiser Permanente since February 26th. They're trying to keep him really comfortable through his treatment, testing, and care. Could use some help.
I saw him at the golf tournament just a few weeks ago. Looked good, but
thinking about you, Bryce.
Things can change in a heartbeat. And our best to Bryce. We've had him on the show a number of times. You heard him all the time on this station talking, whether it's Padres or Aztecs. Obviously, he covers everything in town. So definitely hoping and praying for the best for Bryce and his family.
Yeah, Paulie put the GoFundMe up in the chat. It's all over social media as well. So if you can donate, great. If not, you can share and try to raise some money as well.
So best wishes obviously to Bryce and his family, and hopefully he'll get better, and we'll have him on later in the baseball season and talking Padres with him again. But definitely prayers are going out right now. All right, let's get to a timeout. We still have our Paulie Reindl report. It's good to have Paulie back. We did have some more NFL moves yesterday. Today is technically the first day of free agency, although it sort of feels like it's already over based on the moves that have been made over the last couple of days, at least reported. You have had most of the big names have already decided where they are landing, but you did have a few others that were decided yesterday, and then a lot of those will become official later today. So we can talk a little bit NFL football, get into some Reindl Report headlines, and much more before we wrap things up here at 10 o'clock and hand things over to Braden. First, though, I want to tell you about SDFatLoss.com. It was a couple of summers ago that I went through the journey. I did not look forward to it because, well, I love my food. I love eating, and I knew I was going to miss it. I've done other programs before. I was pretty miserable going through the shakes and bars and mixes routine. They said, this is different. You get to eat regular foods. And honestly, that made a huge difference for me. Yeah, you had to be disciplined. You had to kind of eat in the portion sizes and when you were supposed to eat. Your counselor will lay it all out for you and help you make it as easy as possible. But yeah, I ate chicken and steak and vegetables. I got through it. Not only did I get through it, but after a week or so, got into a groove. The weight started coming off, and 2 months later, I had lost 40 pounds in 60 days. That's a success story right there. So many other tier ones have gone through the program, shared their success stories, thousands of pounds lost in San Diego. You could be the next success story from SDFatLoss.com. Just set up your free consultation at the website, SDFatLoss.com. And right now, in the month of March, take advantage. Get $200 off the program. And you're not buying injections. You're not buying extra foods or mixes or anything. It's just the program, and it's a great program with great support where you lose up to a pound of fat per day, 10 to 20% of your body weight in those 60 days. Do it today. Don't wait. By the time the summer's here, whole new you at SDFatLoss.com. That's SDFatLoss.com.
Monster. Serial killer, sociopathic monster for what you just did to our boss.
He's really
He's like lost his mind. And he has no look at him. Look at him. He has there's no remorse in him. None.
I got the sense that he wanted to do something nice for us.
So today,
you can just say thanks for the offer.
I'm good. I'll wait.
I also thought you guys would get something as well,
but we didn't. And then once we didn't, you still went ahead with your order.
I had already asked. At that point, it becomes very awkward. So yeah. So they're opening a new cafe downstairs, and our big boss Michael is like treating everybody like on the company tab to get some coffees or snacks.
Right
at 9:00 this morning. We're of course on the air, so we can't go down there.
Well, it's like a thing. So it's.
I was expecting someone. Oh, he's calling right now.
Who is
Adam?
Take it on the air.
Iced Vietnamese coffee. Yes, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you, Adam.
My God.
Yeah. So I ordered an iced Vietnamese coffee.
All right. So number one, we've talked many times at this company about how they do little things and clubs and events, right? And seemingly they always do them when we're unavailable or unwilling. Like I'm not coming back at noon for a chili cook-off. I can't do it feasibly. I can't do it. Today they're doing they're calling it like the Wednesday meetup or something. I can't remember what the name of the deal is. What's it called?
It's called the Wednesday.
I had it.
Wake Up Wednesday.
Wake Up Wednesday.
Wake Up Wednesday.
So they'll meet every Wednesday at 9. You know, whoever's here, go in and visit. And today they happen to be going down to the cafe. So Adam, our boss, hobbles in here. Literally hobbles. He has gout, and it's back with a vengeance. After mentioning Monday, his gout hadn't been acting up at all. We awakened the demon of his gout.
I
in his
missed all
foot.
this. I saw him like hobbling outside of the studio.
He hobbles in. He goes, "Hey, do you guys want anything?" And I said, "No, I'm good." Ben said, iced Vietnamese coffee.
I said iced Vietnamese coffee. Then you both said.
And I said, I'm good.
But I had already put in my order.
But it's not official. It's not like you're at the window. So then he goes, all right, well, you guys don't want anything? We go, no, we're good. And Ben goes, all right, yeah, I'll still take it. You're sending him down there on one foot.
There's an elevator. It's 5 steps from here. It's at the bottom. I'm not sending him on a
He needs to be resting at his desk.
His desk is farther away than the elevator.
Oh my God. He just does not.
All right. When he comes back with your coffee, you need to give him a piggyback ride back to his desk.
I mean,
you know what? We've got rolly chairs. I will wheel him back to his desk if he so chooses, or even if he doesn't choose. I assume someone was going to offer. If everyone else in the building is getting a little treat this morning, we should get a treat as well. I can't believe you guys didn't order something. A bagel, a Danish. I know you're trying to eat a little healthier, Woods. I applaud you for that.
Thank you, but
you got an iced tea though. Something
I want an ice. I'm not going to get something just to get something because it's free.
I don't need something.
I grew up with this guy, and now I work with him.
Okay, but I saw JR's email about Wake Up Wednesday. I looked yesterday. I looked at the cafe, like, oh, that looks cool. I even knew what I wanted to get.
Looked at the menu. The psychopath that he is. He looked at the menu of a deli in our building.
How would you know what they're going to have? Whether you want to go down there.
Coffee, bagels, Danish, muffins.
They have carne asada burritos, Woods.
Do they?
You like one?
The guy, he literally hobbles in there. He's like, and Adam goes, okay, I guess I'll hobble down there and get one for you. Just
the one iced Vietnamese coffee.
I feel like, again, it goes to the fact that, like, if I got hit by a bus tomorrow, Ben will be like, well, Woods is dead. Anyway, the Aztecs have a huge game today at 2:30. He wouldn't miss a beat. It's just scary. It's like one day the cops are going to come knocking on my door. They'd be like, did you know that he had a family chopped up in his back seat? I'm going to be like, I mean, no, but I kind of guessed that it would happen.
I would be very sad if you were gone, but I would continue on. There's no, you have to plow forward. A lot of differing opinions. Ben, you're totally fine. Ben has no self-awareness at all. Steve, he's not sending Adam to Saigon for the coffee.
He's like,
just walk down to Mission Valley.
I'm going to get it for you. No problem. On one foot. Ben's like, all right, sounds good. Let me know when you got it.
Just wait until Ben takes one sip and goes wrong and throws it in his face.
I said iced coffee.
Well, he did call and confirm.
He did.
He said, yes. He asked me what I wanted. I told him Vietnamese coffee, iced.
And he said, you want me to hobble down there and get it for you?
Can you text it to me? I said, no one else ordered anything. It's just an iced Vietnamese coffee. And then he calls me from downstairs going, what was it again? Was it iced? I said, yes, iced Vietnamese coffee.
He just texted me. He goes, I thought Ben was messing with me when he ordered a Vietnamese coffee, just making something up to send me on a wild goose chase. No, he's there. He scoped out the menu. Oh, you are just
Vietnamese coffee is delicious.
It's just legendary. You are just a legend, and it's like blinders on, man. Head down, plow through. You're incredible.
Well, I told Adam I'm good because I made a horrible, horrible mistake this morning.
It's with a rookie mistake, Paulie.
It won't happen again, I promise you. I about 4:30, 4:45 this morning, so about 5 hours ago, I was in my kitchen on the stove making boiling some water in the tea kettle for some hot tea.
Gotta have it.
Skipped coffee this morning. I wanted to get some tea. Throat's still a little, coming down from the cold or whatever. Some throat coat lemon echinacea with a little honey. It's delicious. The problem is that I put it in a Yeti mug.
At what time?
At like 4:45.
4:45?
Yeah.
And just within the last 20 minutes, it's reached a temperature that I can actually comfortably drink on. I've been just
are there any products that are too effective?
I've been doing just the tiniest of sips all morning long.
The Yeti tumblers are too effective for hot liquids.
It works too good, dude. I got one for Christmas that says Coach Woods on it, and I love
They're
it.
fantastic.
I love it. I tried it the first day. I put hot coffee in it on the way in. I'm driving to work. I took one sip. I was like, yeah, and burned my lip. The skin hanging off. I'm like,
weird. The coffee though, I make coffee in our Keurig or whatever.
Yeah, no problem.
It doesn't stay that hot that long. I'll have this whole thing gone by 7 a.m. or something like that with coffee. Again, it's 9:30 now, and I'm finally able to take a normal swig.
This morning. Ice cold in 30 minutes.
Oh yeah,
ice cold.
Yeah, no, you get it down. I got the Starbucks.
And the Yeti works the other way too. I've had ice water. I forgot about it. 3 days
3
later.
weeks.
The ice hasn't even melted yet.
It's too good, dude.
Thank you, Adam.
How you doing? You okay?
That is beautiful.
All right. What a sweet.
He really does hobble.
He is. How's the foot? Do you need? Ben has offered to roll you back to your desk.
I will roll you back to your desk if you need to. Assistance. They made a lot of fun of me.
I just feel like your punching bag. As if I didn't take
delicious.
enough heat yesterday, right? I forgot to upload the 8 a.m. hour. I mislabeled the wrong day.
Man, it was something.
Right? I wake up this morning and I hear, Paul, you're never allowed to take off another day. Things are so bad with Adam, so bad that, can never have that happen again.
At least I didn't send you down on one foot to get me fetch me a coffee.
A Vietnamese coffee.
Did you try?
I didn't know that was
it?
a real thing.
Try it. It's good.
I'm good.
You like coffee?
I do like it.
How?
I didn't even know it was a thing.
So they're doing the.
Yeah, I do like coffee.
They're doing the Wednesday meetup.
Yeah.
How's the attendance?
There's a lot of people there. What do you expect? Free food, free coffee, right?
Okay.
Michael's cringing down there, right?
What? Oh, because he's got to pay.
Free food and radio station employees.
Right.
Oh, it's a deadly
Vultures.
combo. It's a deadly combo. Now,
I'll try that Vietnamese coffee.
Here. Is it going to be held against us that we didn't go?
Yes.
It will be.
Of course.
That's the best part. We're going to do it while you're on the air and then call you guys huge divas for not being there. My favorite part.
Would you be down there if it weren't while you're
yeah.
on the air?
If it was 10, I would have been down there. Let me try some.
No, you try it too.
It tastes like coffee.
It's strong coffee with the sweetened condensed milk. It's delicious.
God dang.
I appreciate the offer, but the fact that we're going to get shamed.
Yes.
You're not going to get shamed.
We already missed the chili cook-off.
I mean, look, John and Tammy are down there.
Yeah, they voice track and they played Jelly Roll. Can I play Jelly Roll and record an hour of my show? I'm in.
Just replay the Tournament of Drops montage on repeat.
Oh, we should do that.
Bro, that is fantastic.
I told you.
I just literally maybe 2 weeks ago tried my first iced coffee. I thought I would hate it.
Oh, it's outstanding.
Kind of like driving to Vegas. Huh?
Kind of like driving to Vegas. I'm learning all kinds of new things.
Can I just? I know.
Can you go get me an iced coffee?
I already offered once. You know what's for you? I'll do it,
bro.
Can I just make a plea to the tier ones? I know we're not supposed to influence the voting. There's a specific drop I really hope does not win.
The Dragon
Slayer. Let's slay the dragon again, please. Have some mercy on my soul.
Yeah, I think it's probably going to win now. You don't ever say that.
The Padres have slayed the dragon again.
I mean, at least it's not you saying it. I feel bad for the voice guy who was forced to say it and now is in the tournament of drops. That is.
I mean, if it's extra sweet, can't win, then at least.
I know. It's crazy. Thank you for
the iced
getting
coffee.
our resident sociopath
Appreciate
his coffee.
By the
That
way,
is really good though.
Joey Bosa signed with the Bills. That was our NFL segment today on NFL.
There it is. There it was.
Hope you
Glory
enjoyed the breakdown of all the big moves yesterday in the National Football League that we just got to. Paulie's got his round of report headlines. We will get to those in the final segment of Men and Woods, including we have an update on what was it?
I've got no sports.
No. The third story. Gene Simmons.
Gene
right?
Simmons.
Yeah, we got a Gene
He's
Simmons
at it
update
again.
for you. We'll do that when we give back with Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. GEGE 000466.
First, though, we're going to talk about 7 Mile Casino. If you're looking for some serious action, 7 Mile is actually a great place. They've got some high-limit games for the big-time players. If maybe you out there looking for a big, bold, high-stakes poker game or fast-paced California-style blackjack action, baccarat. Baccarat players like the James Bond types, the big-time players, they cater to some big players at 7 Mile Casino. We wanted to make sure you knew about that.
Well, what else makes them special? Their people, their staff, so friendly, so professional, eager to serve, and it's a smoke-free environment, which is just so clutch. We love 7 Mile Casino. You guys know that. I love to play California-style blackjack at 7 Mile Casino. They are open 24/7. Take our word for it. And go see it for yourself today, Benjamin.
Absolutely. So easy to get to, just 7 miles off of a Bay Boulevard in Chula Vista. 7 Mile Casino. For a full list of games and rules played at 7 Mile Casino, visit 7milecasino.com.
This brings back some feelings of being in college, Ben. God dang. Yeah. Like, hey, who wants to stand around the kitchen and talk all night? Does anybody have any cigarettes? I mean, this is like, what did you give me, dude? I took like 3 sips and I am like, whoa, let's go.
You always ask me because I never partake in some of the things that you have partaken in. But I like strong coffee. Ganja, aka cannabis.
Wow.
And caffeine is my choice.
That's
I try
your drug of
not to
choice.
have any afternoon.
But hold
I'm
on.
usually done with the caffeine.
Because I'm going to be spazzed out for the next 30 minutes, and then I'm going to go home and I'm going to crawl in bed, which is probably what I was going to do anyway, to be honest. But I get so tired.
Just a couple of sips. Now, if you drank the whole thing like I am, you'd be wired for at least a couple hours.
And what are you going to do? How do you come down from this and then get re-upped to go back to work?
I don't really come down. I just have to go back
You
to
just
work.
stay high all day.
Pretty much. There'll be a crash.
When's your crash?
So generally it's like right when I get to work in the afternoon, like I park and I go,
oh
give me
my
5 minutes
God,
to come here. I need to just crash for a couple seconds and then back on with my day later.
Do you have, and you don't have another coffee at night?
I don't.
Wow.
I do not feel like that would be a lot.
This is
then I'd feel like an addict.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting feeling that I'm experiencing right now. I can't even talk.
I mean, morning show host and coffee is, I mean, they go together like
PB&J, baby.
Exactly.
Man.
It's almost. I mean, you don't drink that much when it comes to coffee.
I have a cup.
You have a cup in the morning, and that's about it for your day, right?
Yeah. DG says you must have very little social lives in the evening since you go to bed at 7. I mean, this new time change, by the way. When I get my kids down, I look at my phone. I'm like, oh, cool, 8:30. Like, there's my night that I used to have a couple hours to myself. I no longer do. I feel like I have to go to bed right away. So the time change, I know everybody loves it because it's sunny at 7 out there. It just murders me. It murders me.
I hadn't been sleeping well at night, surprisingly, the last few nights, even though being sick. And so knowing I was coming back in this morning, I was like, I want a good night sleep.
Yeah.
I stole a sleeping pill from my wife that she uses, and I took that at 6:30 p.m. last night.
It's the best feeling.
It really is.
I tossed and turned until almost 2 a.m.
So I got up at 2.
I went to sleep at 2. So
wow. Hence the Vietnamese.
Vietnamese coffee this morning.
Wow, man.
I needed it for
that. Is really
segment of the show.
Really tasty and it's really strong.
It is.
What do they put in there? It's cocaine's in there.
It's just extra.
I know
strong
that
coffee.
feeling. That is cocaine in there.
Condensed milk.
Extra strong coffee and condensed milk.
Yeah.
With an 8-ball. This is crazy. I'm like, all right, Paulie, let's go. Let's get it going. I'm ready to talk. Come on, let's talk. I want to talk about the Rhino Report.
First traffic, and then we will talk about the Rhino Report next year on 97.3
From the
The Fan.
855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury. Here's Kelly Danick.
Drizzle and light rain still hitting parts of the county this morning, guys. So you definitely want to factor that into your drive if you're just heading out. Got this crash on the coastline, southbound 5, right before La Costa. It's over the right shoulder. It looks like that is in the clearing stage. A stalled vehicle on the Coronado Bridge heading off the island. This is about mid-span. Got that left lane blocked. Also traveling on eastbound 905, just before the 125. Accident involving a couple cars there over the right shoulder. And got a crash on westbound 8, just before the 805. Couple vehicles involved there over the right shoulder. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben and Wood, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
And get things started here with our Today's edition of the Reindl Report.
Now tuned into the greatest.
Welcome to the Reindl Report with Paul Reindl.
Hi, Paul.
All right.
2 stories from the world of sports that we haven't gotten to yet.
We'll start off in Major League Baseball.
And 1 story that you didn't know you needed.
Are you laughing, biatch?
It's the Reindl Report
Hey, Paul, how you doing?
Okay, how are you?
on 97.3 The Fan.
Are you ready to bless the mood? I need some help, please.
That was good.
Can I get a yeah? Oh, yeah.
All right.
All right. Good morning, my friends. How you feeling? You good?
Fantastic.
Good. All right. It is the Reindl Report brought to you by the Craft Taco. Whether you're craving tacos for lunch or a craft beer for happy hour, the Craft Taco is the answer. Now open in Balboa Park and Sereno Valley. Missed you guys.
Missed you too.
And I missed the Reindl Report. I got,
we had the Klug report. It was different.
Yeah. Did he read the Craft Taco liner? I'm guessing not.
Ben had to do it, I think. Yeah.
I nailed it.
All right. I do have a sports adjacent story, and then I've got a lot of goofy stories that we need to catch up on. The first one, so the Hollywood Reporter, which I think is a fairly reputable source for a list of movies.
Okay.
I know you love List Radio, but they put together a list from the Hollywood Reporter of the 10 best baseball movies.
It's a standard bit every year this time of year.
100%.
You can never come up with a definitive list, though. I think it's one of the most
I can definitively say that this list sucks.
Personal list
really?
possible.
Yeah.
And you're not wrong. If you have Major League #1 or Field of Dreams #1, or you have Bull Durham #1, you can't say anybody's totally wrong.
Right.
It's personal preference.
All right. Well, let's just go through this list real quick.
Now, who voted on this?
It's the Hollywood Reporter
Who
put together the list. I don't know who of their staff or whatever put this list together, but starting with number 10, that's a Japanese baseball movie, Boiling Point, 1990.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of that. Never seen that. Coming up at number 9, 1942's The Pride of the Yankees.
Gary Cooper.
Okay.
Lou Gehrig.
Today,
Thought once a long time ago.
I consider myself. Is that bit? The luckiest man.
Well, no, that's
actually his
Lou
speech,
Gehrig,
right?
yes.
But
this is the story of Lou Gehrig, but yeah.
I never
1942. Pride of the Yankees. See, pass.
Number 8. I never saw this movie. Sugar came out in 2008, and it's about a young pitcher from the Dominican Republic. He arrives for spring training.
These are the best baseball movies of all time.
Yeah.
All right, I'm intrigued by
number
Sugar.
7, 1973's Bang the Drum Slowly.
I've heard of it. It's about.
That is the Robert De Niro.
De Niro
is the catcher who has terminal disease.
All right.
Yes. Yep. De Niro. Number 6, League of Their Own.
Okay.
Controversial, I guess, sometimes on baseball movie lists, but
I think Tom Hanks's performance is vastly overrated in that movie, but it's a good movie.
I think it's great. It makes me. I'll watch it when it's on.
Yeah, I'll watch it when it's on.
All right. Number 5, The Natural, 1984. I
don't love the.
I don't either, man. I don't love it.
Love the music.
I'm surprised we're all on the same page.
It feels good to say it out loud. I don't love The Natural. I don't. It's too much. I like the story, the Wonder Boy bit and the shooting and all that. I love the scene. The one scene, obviously iconic. The one we played the music earlier.
The music's great.
All right,
phenomenal.
Coming in at number 4 from 1957, Fear Strikes Out.
Jimmy Pearsall.
Yeah, never saw that one.
Nope.
No real interest in seeing it. Number 3.
Wow.
Most people probably would say this is at least in the top 2, but number 3, Bull Durham.
Yeah, elite.
Really, really great baseball movie. Number 2, Moneyball.
Okay, I can get behind it. I love it. I never don't watch it.
Something that belongs in the top 3 is not in the top 10, apparently.
So Major League's still out there,
and
Field of Dreams is still out there.
Which one did he leave out?
Sandlot's still out there.
Still haven't guessed the number 1.
You're joking.
None of those are number 1?
Mr. Baseball.
8 Men Out.
I love it.
Which is a great movie.
It's all right.
Great movie.
So, but I would have had that at like
say it ain't
7, 8, 9, maybe.
Bad News Bears is on that list.
Bad News Bears did not make it. The Sandlot did not make it. Field of Dreams did not make it. Major League did not make their list.
Greatest. It's my favorite.
So it's my favorite.
It's my favorite too.
I saw that list. I was like, what?
They're trying to be edgy or something.
I guess.
We're so Hollywood. We're going to put movies in from the 40s.
We don't put movies. We put films.
These are films, you absolute buffoons.
It's funny. If you want baseball to look like baseball, Major League is one of the better
100%
baseball movies ever.
Yeah.
Even though it's a complete farce comedy, it actually gets the baseball mostly right.
Yeah.
At least as right as actors can get it.
100%.
I think. Dennis Haysbert, his swing as Pedro Serrano looks like a power hitter's swing.
Freaking Sheen looks fantastic.
I actually saw, it was like some Instagram reel about history of movies or whatever. Little Big League.
Yeah,
where the kid takes over the Twins.
Really
he becomes the manager. They actually went out and hired the casting. They only wanted guys that had baseball experience.
Sure.
Like they wanted the baseball to look as authentic as possible. And they showed like some of the scenes from the movie of third baseman, diving for a ball on the line or whatever. And it actually kind of played out pretty well.
Yeah, it was good. It was really good.
I mean, like Bull Durham's a great movie, but
Tim Robbins
has no business being a pitcher.
Costner, though. Costner's legit.
Yeah.
His Crash Davis left-handed swing. I mean, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
I did just watch 8 Men Out recently. It was on
I love
TV.
it. Man.
It's a great movie.
It's a great movie.
I don't know that I'd call it the best baseball movie of all time.
I love it, though.
I would probably put Moneyball over that. Whatever.
If you had to hire a fictional manager to run your team, is there any other choice than Lou Brown?
No. Perfect.
My kind of team, Charlie.
No other choice
Perfect.
than Lou Brown.
Absolutely perfect.
All right, we'll move on. A couple of the goofier stories that I've been waiting to tell you guys about. First off, I think we could all use this. Coming out on Friday, we have a new app it's going to start only on the iOS Apple Store, and the developers do have a plan to make it available on Android as well. The app is called Touch Grass.
Touch Grass.
And it quite literally forces you to go outside and touch grass before you use a couple of apps on your phone.
How does it know?
I'll tell you. So the way it works is first, when you sign up for the app, you choose 2 apps that are your biggest time wasters.
Okay, Twitter.
That you want to kind of self-limit your usage.
Ben's is the Odyssey app.
And Eater.
And Eater.
Twitter for sure.
So what it does is after you select the apps, it'll then block those apps. The only way to unblock them or unlock them is to go outside and take a picture of yourself physically touching grass and submitting it to the app. Then you can choose how much time the app will give you on X or Eat.
So this is kind of
how many days before
it's
you
like
just take a bunch of pictures, store them, and like, all right, here's another picture.
Glad you
of touching
asked.
grass.
So
It knows.
People have already asked, like, can you cheat? Can you upload the same picture? Blah, 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 blah. They want to, they're using AI, I believe, to determine if it's the same photo or not. But I'm looking at the app screenshots, like there's a handprint on the grass, and they're going to make it available for snow and sand and other, it's to get outside before you go on your.
This reminds me of the the story we did a couple weeks ago about the I can't remember what exactly, but it was the guy that you had an accountability partner. Like if you looked at websites you weren't supposed to be looking at,
dirty websites,
and it would send me a text. Ben is currently watching.
There's also the guy
this.
who banned himself from the casino.
Yes,
and won the jackpot.
And the jackpot. They wouldn't pay him.
Yeah. Give himself a life ban because he had a gambling addiction.
The accountability. I mean, we all go through it. When you guys get that text, that alert from your phone that tells you last week you were on the phone at an average of.
I've blocked those. I don't.
Did you?
Yeah,
I see them and I immediately swipe because I don't want to know how much I'm on there.
I guess if you're gonna really try to cheat the system, maybe you just need to delete those apps if it's that important.
You don't have to go outside to take time for yourself.
No,
take time for yourself inside as well.
Sure. I often take time for myself, but usually with my phone.
All right,
it would be very difficult for me.
Finally,
but they don't have any apps for that.
They might.
Not
do
that
we
I
need
know
a Ben
of.
and Woods app? What would it do?
Oh God, please! More work I'm gonna have to do. Actually,
Are you
Paulie's
insane?
gonna have to do it. Paulie's gonna have to do it. I'm not doing anything. I'll just
Have I not done
criticize
enough?
it.
We can have our own Ben and Woods points
For
that we
what?
give out
On
to tier
there?
ones.
For what do we do on there? It'd just be an empty app. Odyssey's not letting us connect our show to it. Like, all right, hey, it's Woodsy's checking in. How you guys doing? Believe me, I thought about it years ago. Yeah, we'd have a soundboard on there with all the drops, but I mean, other than that, I can't think of anything. Yeah, we'll do one. It's gonna cost you $24.99 a month. Sold.
Right.
Sold.
Yeah. All right. Well, with that $24.99 a month that we're all making, maybe we could spend it on something like this. Gene Simmons and Kiss. They're at it again. What I mean,
it's just Gene.
Okay, just Gene.
Just
What is Gene Simmons best known for besides being part of Kiss?
Shilling.
Yes.
He's a shill.
Branding. Marketing himself and the band.
Master.
And my God, is he at it again? For the cool price of $12,500, you can now be a roadie for a day
for him.
For Gene Simmons.
So I don't even think the band is touring anymore.
I thought they retired.
I thought they did too. And I'm a Kiss fan. And I grew up with Gene and if they're not touring, what am I roading for?
Yeah, I guess it's not the
like
band.
just
You really want to set up the speakers and do all the actual roadie work?
Wouldn't it be better to just pay that much money to like get a backstage pass
or like, hey man,
like wait, I have to work now?
Yeah, $12,000. I'm gonna hang out with Gene Simmons, like, but we're gonna hang out all day.
Do the members of the band actually hang out with the roadies anyway? I mean,
no, I don't.
I get the sense that there's separate buses for the the band and the roadies.
So for $12,500, yeah, you load all the gear.
Pay me to work
set
for
up.
me is what KD
100%.
says.
You get to eat breakfast or lunch or dinner or whatever. You get to eat a meal with Gene. You'll sit in on the sound check that you helped set up.
Break it all down at the end after he's gone.
You're gonna get a signed set list and a bass guitar that was used during the rehearsal by Gene, plus a crew shirt and hat. Says Gene Simmons will bring you on stage and introduce you to the crowd, and you get to bring one guest with you. You can also bring up to 4 items. Only 4, though.
It's not free labor, JH. It's profitable labor.
Profitable labor.
You're making money from your employees.
There's also a note here on this story. The $12,500, it doesn't include a ticket to the show. You got to buy that separately.
So you get to set up, to kick your ass outside.
And then you got to come in with everybody else.
So I just was at this weekend, Kiss World at the Rio, where they had the Kiss mini golf. And the mini golf is cool, right? But like playing mini golf with your kids is maybe the worst thing of all time. But they had a Kiss museum in the back, and it's all Gene Simmons' private collection. When I tell you, there is nothing, and I mean nothing, that man has not put his face on. Hello Kitty Kiss dolls. I mean, you name it, across the board. I was blown away. I was blown away at all the stuff. They had you could pay extra to put on some replica Gene Simmons boots. And as I walked in, some guy was sitting at the desk pulling these huge big ass boots on for like an extra $20.
$13,000 though to like lug equipment around
to go to work.
All right, tomorrow morning, first matchups in our tournament of drops. We will release them. The voting will begin. That's it for our show today. Braden is coming up next and it's good to have him back. Our executive producer, Paul Reindl and Stephen Woods. I'm Ben Higgins. Have a great rest of your Wednesday. From all of us here at San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. So long, everybody.